Autoville Car Wash has been trusted for 55 years for high-quality service. We'll clean your car from the inside out. Now through June 2nd, buy 2 Super Poly Process Wash tickets at any Autoville for just $55.
People can tell when you Autoville.
Set your alarm. Memorial Day doorbusters are here at Lowe's. Save big on a Master Forge 3-burner gas grill for just $99. Plus, save over $500 on a Whirlpool top-load laundry pair, now only $896. Beat the rush for these limited-time deals before they're gone. Because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 5/27. Appliance offer valid on items 782472 and 670009. Price includes all discounts while supplies last.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Partly cloudy this afternoon and hotter than yesterday as we're close to 90 this afternoon for our high. We'll see partly cloudy skies and it will be dry. Temperatures tonight drop back into the mid-60s, so it's a comfortable start tomorrow morning, but another hot afternoon with a high of 92 under partly cloudy skies. We also have the chance of afternoon and evening storms, a level 1 risk for severe weather across most of the area, with damaging winds being the biggest threat.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check if your money. Dow Jones is down 273 points to 39,599. Market update brought to you by Habitat for Humanity Restore, now selling brand new solid wood custom cabinets. Learn more at trianglerestores.org. Hour of the Drive brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
Love guarded by Keels, gets a screen, pulls up for 3. Got it! Caleb from straight away! Jones with 1. Jones puts it up at the buzzer. Yes! He ties the game!
Joining with a long rebound, kicks ahead to Smith. 3-ball, right side.
Bang!
Shotgun snap, Bryce Young, pressure off the backside, throw to the end zone, Chark pulls it in with his fingertips.
And another chance, and the save's made by Anderson, and the fans will tell you, did you have a good night?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Wednesday. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. Last night was a doozy if you were just jumping on the NBA bandwagon there a little bit, huh?
I'm fully jumped in, 2 feet.
It's rare that something works out that well where we're like, if you're looking to get into the NBA, right now is a really good on-ramp, Eastern Conference Finals, young stars, passing of the torch happening, and then they go to overtime and they put together a really entertaining, exciting, twist and turn filled, big shot made, big mistakes made game between the Celtics and the Pacers. And what that game does is it allows me to dust off one of my favorite sayings. A smart person learns from their own mistakes. A wise person learns from the mistakes of others. So in a environment where so many here in Carolina are paying attention to something like the Panthers OTAs, which are going on, and also the general sports fan is paying so much attention to something like Boston, Indiana going to overtime in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. How can the Panthers, and more specifically Dave Canales, learn something from the mistakes of others? More specifically, learn something from the mistakes of Rick Carlisle. Because Rick Carlisle has been the head coach of an NBA team for a long time. He's been the head coach of the Pacers for a good while. Before that, he was the head coach of the Mavericks for a long while. Won an NBA championship as the head coach of the Mavericks. Yet somehow, with all that experience, coming down the stretch of an Eastern Conference Finals game, Rick Carlisle makes some mistakes and has to say this postgame.
This loss is totally on me. With 10 seconds in regulation, we should have just taken the timeout, advanced the ball. and found a way to get it in and made a free throw or two and ended the game. But it didn't happen, and we made some other mistakes, but our guys just need to concentrate on fighting the way they fought in this game from start to finish, and we'll be back Thursday.
There's the lesson. Dave Canales better not ignore that part of being a head coach. Even though that part might not be the reason you are the head coach, you can't ignore that part of being a head coach. The when to call timeouts, the end of game management, the little things that are very much head coach things, right? The assistants may suggest, hey, coach, I'd love to have a timeout here, but the head coach has to be the one to call it. Dave Canales is a first-time head coach. He's brought in, don't get me wrong, to get the offense and Bryce Young on track. But he can't ignore the other part, right? He has to do the head coach stuff too. Just like Rick Carlisle, right? Rick Carlisle in that game, if his goal, if his dream, if his assignment was to make sure that somebody like Tyrese Halliburton has a good day, Tyrese Halliburton had a 25-plus, 10-plus double-double, right? He shot the ball efficiently. He set up his teammates for whatever it was, 12, 13 assists. Carlisle did his job until he had to call the timeout that would have won them the game. So Dave Canales could have games where Bryce Young looks great. You mess up that fourth down call in the last drive, or something even more egregious, like when you just need to run the clock out, call 3 passes, incomplete, stops the clock, gives the other team a chance. Thinks he's getting cute. Everybody thinks I'm going to run, so I'm going to call play action, when in actuality, who cares if you lose 5 yards on the run? Keep the clock running. Dave Canales can learn from a veteran coach like Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle, like I said, NBA championship ring on his finger from his time with the Dallas Mavericks. He beat the Big Three Heat with Dirk Nowitzki and his merry bunch of Mavericks. He's bona fide. And even he, after an Eastern Conference Finals high-pressure game, is saying, that one's on me. Late game management, that one's on me.
It's on-the-job learning. There's no way you can replicate those situations. I think back to when I was coaching lacrosse. When I was assistant coach, different things you got to do, you got to worry about. But when you're a head coach, remember my first year of coaching, I was down at Methodist University in Fayetteville. I was like, oh, this is the late game situation. This is a lot different. I remember my very first game was like a tight one that came down to the late. And I was like, oh, okay, like how do I manage this timeout? What do I call here? Like it's all on the job training.
I'm only half joking when I say this. He should play a lot of Madden. And I'm talking about like just to say what would I do in this scenario, not to actually, watch my sweet spin move and turbo with the circle button. Got him.
Engage 8. Let's go. Everyone's blitzing.
But like just play it to get in different scenarios. Play the fourth quarter. Say, all right, there's 2 minutes left or 1:40 left. I'm down 8. What do I want to do if we score here? Right? Or I'm down 9. What do I want to do if we score here? Right? All the little go for 2s, not go for 2s, go for it on 4th, not go for it on 4th. Those things need to be very quick. I'll tell you, because here's the funny part about football. All right? One of the many funny parts about football. It's a strange game. But when you're watching football, it feels like, right, the joke is you play for 8 seconds and everybody stands around for 40 seconds. Right? You watch a sport like basketball. We've been watching the Canes. You watch a sport like hockey. It feels like it's go, 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 go. Then you watch football, and it's like, all right, let's all gather around and talk in the huddle for a second. Let's have a picnic in the middle of the field in between plays. Let's shuffle on a bunch of big guys and shuffle off a bunch of fat guys every single play. But in a football game, the play clock is quick. Watching it from your couch where you're like, all right, let me go grab a beer from the fridge. Let me get a nacho. Let me make sure I get the right amount of sour cream on my chip. All right, here we go. All right, next play. But when you're in a game, it's not tick, tick. It's tick, 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 tick. That's how it feels. So Dave Canales can't sit there and go, well, I'll figure out if I want to go for it on 4th down once we get there. Just like Carlisle last night couldn't say, well, I'll decide whether I want to get a timeout in the moment. You have to play those moments out in your brain so it's instinctual. And you don't realize the ramifications of it, right? The changing of legacies. If Rick Carlisle calls a timeout, that's it. If that's the only thing that changes in that game, Rick Carlisle calls a timeout, well, that's another game Jason Tatum blew at home in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum had absolutely nothing to do with whether Rick Carlisle called that timeout or not. But Jason Tatum, it comes up short in another big playoff game. I don't know if he has the killer instinct.
Jaylen Brown can't hit a big shot. There's no clutch performer on the Celtics.
Instead,
which I saw people post yesterday and then started deleting immediately afterwards.
Instead,
that really happened.
Right, and then the other way it breaks is Rick Carlisle doesn't call the timeout, and instead it's a 36-12-4 playoff gem from Jason Tatum, where he's plus 20 in 46 minutes. Which, by the way, they won by 5, 48 game plus 5-minute overtime, 53 minutes. He was plus 20, meaning when he was on the court, they won by 20. They won by 5. So in the 7 minutes he was off the court, they lost by 15. In the 46 minutes he was on the court, they won by 20. That would have been seen as not enough. He can't come up clutch. If Rick Carlisle just called the timeout, the other team's coach. So Dave Canales, the end of the game stuff might help out some of your players in the legacy category, right? You calling a timeout at the right time might be the difference between a win and a loss, might be the difference between Bryce Young is a huge bust, and look at that, he finds a way to win. The legacies changed quickly. I think a great example of that is, because I'm a golf nerd, right? Somebody like Xander Schauffele from this past weekend. One putt, lips in on 18. Pulled the putt, finds a way into the cup anyway. Now he's one of the greats of a generation. He lips that putt and it doesn't go in, loses in a playoff. Now he's a choker. Now he's the one that can't win the big one. The margin is small. So Dave Canales, let Rick Carlisle's nightmare put the fear of being prepared into you, right? Put Rick Carlisle's bad timeout usage, let that be a fear of you will never make a bad timeout. Or at least do everything you possibly can to make sure you don't make a bad timeout. No regrets. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Want to tell you about my partners at Window Nation. Again, I said this yesterday, but if you're like me, it's almost like an intimate trust of somebody when they come into your house to work. Now, Window Nation, they'll get your windows done in 1 day or less, but they're still in your house, right? They're still working on your house. You're still trusting them that when there's a giant storm with rain and wind and everything else, that those windows are going to hold up. And I had Justin, one of their sales representatives, come into my house and put on a whole demonstration with their science projects, as he called them, and he was showing me on my windows how it all works. And you can't help but have an interaction with Window Nation and leave trusting them. Not just with coming into your house and doing a good job, but with when my kids are at home and my dog's terrified of the thunder, that those windows are going to do a great job, not just in keeping all the elements out, but keeping the air that I pay to heat and cool in, right? They lower the price of your energy with Window Nation's windows, your energy bill, I should say. They raise the value of your house, which is important. If you're addicted to me checking all the estimates on air, addicted like me to checking all the estimates for your house on air, the windows, they play a role in everything, and Window Nation wants to help you level up in all of those ways. Window Nation right now, they even want to do it on the cheap. Semi-annual sale going on. 50% off all window styles. The same quality, the same excellent experienced installation, but 50% off. All window styles, plus 0% interest for 5 years. And if you go ahead and book your appointment today, if you schedule your appointment this week, an additional bonus on top of that semi-annual sale. To book your appointment, a no-obligation free consultation, call 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. Again, that URL, windownation.com, to schedule additional bonus if you get it done by the end of the week. We're going to take a break. When we come back, 99 questions about the college football season. We asked our next question coming up.
As they say, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Canes fans, it was a great run in the stand. No, it wasn't. This sucks. Now it's time for a new look Canes. What will the franchise do tomorrow? Trade your favorites? Smash the piggy bank in free agency? Find out with us, your official home of the Carolina Hurricanes in season and the off season. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall to winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor things you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, going to the beach. You name it, it can't be done. Don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints like your knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get you your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Here comes a blitz. Armstrong cocks the arm, hit as he throws, fires over the middle, caught. 25-yard line, Concepcion to the 20, down the right side, 10. Nobody's going to get him. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hampton left side, 10-5, touchdown.
Next up in our series of 99 questions about college football coming up. But first, after we talk to Brian Murphy, who is going to be joining us in about 12 minutes, we have a sweet giveaway today. you can win a Super 4-pack from the soccer tournament and FC series. That means 4 tickets to see Celtic FC versus Man City on July 23rd at Keenan Memorial Stadium.
4-pack?
4-pack.
4-pack. Okay.
You and 3 of your closest friends. You and 3 of your closest enemies. I don't care. You and 3 of your coworkers, 3 family members, 3
random people.
3 radio hosts. It's up to you. And a 4-pack. Yes, you heard me right again, Dennis.
4-pack?
A 4-pack.
4-pack.
You and 3. No, we're not going to do the whole thing again. 4 tickets in addition to the 4 tickets to see Celtic FC and Man City. 4 tickets to the soccer tournament. It is a single session pass for Saturday, June 8th evening featuring the U.S. women versus the Wrexham women, which is, I mean, that's pretty darn cool. At Wake Med Soccer Park, there's going to be 118 matches as part of the soccer tournament, 56 teams, 2 $1 million championship prizes. It's a festival of some of the biggest names in soccer, sports, and entertainment. You can get your tickets today at fcseries.com/Carolina. Use code TRIANGLE for 10% off your tickets.
So I get 4 tickets for Celtic FC versus Man City.
8 tickets total, 2 different events, 4 piece to each event.
Okay, that's a lot.
And we'll be giving that away in one mega pack coming up after we talk to Murph next segment. Right now, 99 questions about college football. We started this 99 days out from the college football season. We're asking a question every day about college football. A lot of the buzz right now is about College Football 25, which is the video game that's going to be coming out in July. NCAA football is what it used to be called. Now it's College Football 25. EA Sports hasn't been produced since 2014, and it's finally back. So we thought Duke, UNC, NC State, no particular order. On those teams, who's going to be the highest-ranked player? Because you know that, and maybe we should even say who's going to be the highest-ranked of the 3 highest ranks. Because here's what it is. As soon as it comes out, I guarantee you every player is going to check. There's 3 numbers they're going to check. 1, how good the team is overall.
Mm-hmm.
2, their overall ranking. And 3, their speed ranking.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 that
So
every player is going to go right to and see what's up. And then they'll bring up their little avatar and see if it looks like them and all those things. So we thought we'd get ahead of it. And we'll start with Duke. Who's going to be the highest-ranked player, overall score, for the Duke football team in College Football 25? I have to admit, it's a little bit more difficult when you have a new coach, right? There's going to be roster turnover. Guys are going to transfer out. Guys are going to go pro. Duke is dealing with a little bit of turnover on their roster this year.
A lot of turnover.
I think it's going to end up being their quarterback, Malik Murphy.
Transfer from Texas.
He was one of the 4-star recruits in his recruiting class. Did play a little bit at Texas and showed well for himself as one of the better transfer quarterbacks on the market. I thought it was a big get when Duke got him, so I think Malik Murphy's going to slot somewhere in the 80s probably.
Yeah.
And that'll end up their highest ranked. UNC, 2-person race for highest ranked.
Oh, really?
It is Kamen Rucker.
The defensive lineman.
Yep.
Okay.
And Omarion Hampton, the running back. I think they could both be in the 90s. Assuming that it's not like, 92 is like the highest in the game. If there's some 99s out there, then I think both of those guys can be 90s.
I can see it being Hampton just because of the stats and the numbers that he put up this past season were so gaudy.
I agree with that. I'll go Hampton. I think Rucker is one of those better at real football than he is at video game football guys, which is tough for him because you want to be awesome when you play the game. But Hampton is a guy I could see myself if I'm playing the game as North Carolina talking a lot of trash as Omarion Hampton, like playing against my buddy. You can't stop it. It's halfback. I'm running it to the right with Hampton. What are you going to do to stop it? That's the only way to play video games. For NC State highest, there's a few options here. There's 2 wide receivers, depending on what the rankers are looking for. Casey Concepcion or Noah Rogers. Concepcion would be, I've done it in college. I have the stats. I have the numbers. I was really good last year. Noah Rogers would be, I'm a former 5-star recruit.
And that's it.
And I went to Ohio State, which probably boosts something.
Sure.
I have seen some rumblings that the game is going to make it very obvious the recruits. Like the few media people that have gotten to leak it and play it or whatever have said you're going to know the difference between a 5-star and a 2-star. Now, I don't know if that goes away once they become sophomores, because who cares if what your recruiting is? Like,
if you're developing them.
Yeah, if you're already there. But so that's why I'm throwing Noah Rogers in there with significantly less of a resume than Concepcion.
Okay.
Then there's Davin Vann and Aiden White on the other side of the ball. Just really accomplished defensive players that have some accolades in their own right. But if I were ranking, I think this is an easy decision.
Who are you going with?
KC Concepcion.
Yeah. I think as well. I mean, it's so easy to fall into the trap of fantasy football numbers and those kinds of things. And the guy put up a ton of stats this past season for NC State. So it was like, yeah, this guy's done it. We've seen the speed. We've seen the agility. We've seen all the stuff that he can do. Of course, he's going to get high rankings. As he should.
So so the three
should
were
be fun.
Duke, Malik Murphy, UNC Omarion Hampton, NC State, KC Concepcion are what we settled on for highest ranked in the game.
Yeah.
Dennis, I know my order of those three. Rank those quickly off the top of your head.
Hampton, Concepcion, Murphy.
Yep. Hampton the best. I could see Hampton being like a 94, 95.
He might be the highest rated running back in the entire game.
Yeah, there's two for Ohio State that I think are going to get the
because they play for Ohio State.
The Ohio State unnecessary.
Is it one of those things? Okay, is it one of those things? You see this with recruiting. A guy that's like a 3-star, borderline 3-star recruit, all of a sudden gets like calls from Ohio State or Michigan or something like that, or all of a sudden, now they're a 4-star.
Yep.
Now they're a 4-star guy.
When their top three is, let's just pick Wake Forest, Vanderbilt, and Georgia, and then they commit to Georgia, suddenly they jump from a 3-star to like a high 4-star, and it's like, wait, if he would have committed to Vanderbilt, I bet you he would have stayed a 3-star.
Exactly.
So yes, I do think
probably
that
would have dropped into a 2.
That's just unranked.
I'm also wondering if they're going to do that with a video game. It's like, all right, you're at Ohio State. These are like, we've seen what you can do on the field and all this. All right, just add 2 to every single category, to every single number, and that's what we're going to do because you're at Ohio State.
Yeah, because
and for Vanderbilt, like, okay, this is the exact same player, exact same skill set, but you're at Vanderbilt, -1, -1, -1, -1, -1.
I mean,
it's human nature.
I was going to say yes is the answer to your question. But also, like, there's business to it, right? I'm sure they spend a boatload of money making sure every detail about the horseshoe at Ohio State is perfect.
Of course.
So they want you to pick Ohio State to play as Ohio State. And let's be real, people like picking the good teams.
For sure.
But I don't think it's right. I think the players should be accurately judged. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for Miller Lending, the home of the no closing cost loan. You know, you hear it in life, timing, timing, timing. When you're getting a mortgage, it's all about timing. Well, don't worry about timing as much. Why? Because Miller Lending can make sure that the timing, well, it may not always be right, but you can always be ready to pounce when the timing gets better. So here's what I mean by that. You have to get a mortgage. You need to upsize, downsize, move for family, work, whatever it is. Get the mortgage with Miller Lending, a no closing cost loan. Keep the money in your pocket. They'll set you up with a monthly payment based on today's rates. Well, guess what? If the timing would have been better to get the mortgage 6 months from now because rates drop, do it again. Again, no closing costs. You don't have to reach into your pocket each time you get the refi. So be prepared to take advantage of that Miller Lending can offer with their no closing cost loans. If rates drop, refinance with no cost is what I'm telling you. Right now, give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's Miller Lending at 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Easy to remember, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146. Brian Murphy helps us break down some of the votes going on around the ACC, some of the gossip going around the Board of Trustees with the UNC, and more and more and more. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Are you a big rock, paper, scissors person?
Absolutely.
Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Man. Best of 3. Ready?
You can't change the rules.
Why not?
All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, he got me. He got me.
And she put the rock. Yes.
Oh, I thought he'd go scissors again.
It really is a psychological game.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling. Better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 Pepsis for just $4 at Handy Hugo. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
If you think you or someone close to you is having a stroke, we have 2 words for you. Be fast. B for balance, E for eyes, F is in face, A for arms, S for speech, T for time to call 911. Look for changes in balance, vision, or speech, weakness in one arm, a drooping face. Learn the signs at wakemed.org/stroke, because every second counts.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. It is playoff time. NHL, NBA, and baseball is in full swing. FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you bet your first $5. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P, and sign up. Then you can bet on everything from slap shots to slam dunks to home runs, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. So get started today. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, P-A-U-L, and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
As you know, summer is right around the corner, and for most people, that means more activities, more golf, more biking, more of whatever you love to do. But if you're dealing with aches and pains, your more could become less. This is why I'm here to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. You see, instead of masking your pain, Relief Factor's formula is designed to help reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, and it's been a game changer for so many people. So let's get after it this summer. Let's feel good. Let's do more of the things that we love to do. Don't let pain keep you down. Give Relief Factor a try and save on your first order. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Help fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale, and it's a big deal. Right now, get 50% off all windows, along with no interest for 5 years. Plus, bonus savings when you schedule a consult today. If your windows leak, get foggy or hot, or you're paying high utility bills, that's a big deal. With Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace your windows and save a big deal, too. Schedule a no-obligation in-home estimate. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Stick with us after we talk with Brian Murphy of WRAL. We'll be giving away a mega pack of tickets to a couple different soccer events coming to the area. Literally a mega pack is what we're calling it, and that's an appropriate name. So stick around. Right now, though, Brian Murphy, WRAL Sports Investigative Reporter, joins us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Brian, as always, thank you very much for taking the time and helping us break down some of the legal proceedings, political proceedings of college sports. I feel like we need a political consultant more now with college sports than we ever have in the past. So anyway,
I feel like
thanks for
I
being
spend
there.
all my time in board meetings now.
It seems that way. So anyway, help us break it down. The ACC voted to approve, it seems like, a payment plan for $2.7 billion that's going to the players. Why did they approve of the way it's structured right now?
Yeah, well, the ACC voted yesterday to approve their portion of that deal, in large part because if not approving it was probably going to cost them close to $20 billion. I mean, there's a real sense that if they didn't settle this case, and there's really like 2 or 3 cases that are all going to be rolled together in the settlement, that they could have been on the hook for $20 billion, not just the ACC, but the entire college athletics enterprise, which would have bankrupted the entire thing. And so they felt like settling, and we still don't know if it's going to be settled, but they felt like settling was the best of their options. And this 2.7 is payable over 10 years. Looks like the ACC may cost its, may take a haircut of about $150 to $160 million a year that they would have gotten from the NCAA over the entire course of it.
Okay.
So they'd pay their share in reduced revenue from the NCAA would be somewhere between 140 and 170, according to some documents that have leaked out.
So explain this to me, because what I've read, and I've not been as deep into it as you have, is the voting process is the 4 power or the 5 Power 5 conferences need to approve, and then there's like an NCAA kind of representing everybody else that also needs to approve. Why wouldn't the 5 just gang together and say all of the group of 5 have to pay all the money because we have all the power?
Well, I don't think that they would go. This settlement has to be also agreed to by a judge.
Okay.
It also has to be agreed to by
all right.
by the plaintiffs in this case, the House,
and they don't like
the
bullies?
House plaintiffs. Yeah, I mean, the people who are going to get the money largely played at P5 schools. I mean, they're the first class in this class action lawsuit. They're the ones who stand to gain the most from this settlement. So I talked to the Big South commissioner today. That's a league that has 3 North Carolina colleges in it. And Sharika Montgomery, the commissioner of that league, said, we don't mind the settlement. We think we think we have to settle. But we think that even the way it's split right now, and it's 40% being paid for by the P5 and 60% by all the other conferences, they think that should be flipped. I mean, they think they're being disproportionately harmed by the terms of the settlement already.
And I don't know, maybe it makes a little bit of sense to me. Like when you talk about it like that and say that the Power 5 athletes are going to be the ones getting the large part of the settlement, why wouldn't the Power 5 conferences foot more of the bill? Is that where the bullying comes in? Is that kind of just where the power brokers have the power?
Yeah, I mean the other 22 conferences. I mean the only ones who get a vote are the P5 and the NCAA. Leagues like the Big East and the West Coast, the Big East and the West Coast Conference, or schools that make a lot of money off the basketball tournament are just having to pay, and they don't even really get a voice in this. And then when you drop down to the Big South, which only gets about $8 million from the NCAA, and they're going to take a haircut of $2.5 million each year for the next 10 years to pay this class action lawsuit off. You can understand why they're a little frustrated with it.
Brian Murphy, WRAL Sports Investigative reporter, connecting with us here on The Drive on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. I want to pivot to some of the reporting you've done on the UNC side of this, which is, I mean, it's all driven. It seems to be driven by the bottom line on all of these cases, right? Money is kind of the motivator. But, kind of from the outside, it seems like there's almost gossip going on where it's leaked that the Board of Trustees said this about Bubba Cunningham. And then, no, we didn't say that. But, we would like to see this. And there's a lot of he said, she said going on here. Does the Board of Trustees at UNC have an issue with the way Bubba Cunningham is running the athletic program?
Some do. I mean, they've been saying this in public sessions. They've been saying it in conversations with me on the record. I think what they seem to be angry about, and I don't want to speak for them, but they seem to be angry that, and this ties into that settlement, right? Part of that settlement is that UNC and other schools are going to be able to opt into this where they share revenue with athletes. We're talking $20 to $25 million a year. Well, they're looking at their budget already, and they're saying, where are we going to find $20 to $25 million a year? Hey, I know a conference that would pay us $25 to $30 million extra a year, and it's not the ACC. And so I think a lot of what the trustees are frustrated with and again, I don't want to speak for them, but some of them have come out and said it. They want to get into a higher revenue league. It sounds like they want Bubba Cunningham to be like the Florida State AD, making all this noise. That is not the way Bubba Cunningham has acted throughout this whole process. And no doubt they're doing their due diligence on what it might take to get out. But there are a lot of different political considerations in North Carolina than there are in Florida when it comes to the ACC. And what good does it do Bubba Cunningham to be out there just bashing the league that they're in? I don't think it does him any good. And so he's adopted the approach that he's taken. But some of the trustees, I think, want to be making a lot more noise.
How much? So is this based on financial projections or how it's been? Because, UNC, and I applaud them for this, right? When COVID came around, they fully funded all of the sports, revenue, non-revenue, and everything. And when you do that with no fans in the stands and, everyone kind of took that hit, are they basing it off of like, hey, we've lost a lot of money over the last 5 years, we want to stop that? Because it might just be coming out on the other side of COVID.
Yeah, I mean, there were some deficits projected because of COVID, and North Carolina didn't cut any sports, as you just said. They projected some kind of deficit this year. I think the people who run the budget were able to get that taken care of. I think they're looking going forward, saying, North Carolina has a $139 million budget. Okay, now you've just added $20 million with this settlement to it, right? Less money is going to come in because NCAA is going to hold on to some of that basketball money. And we're going to have to find $20 million in the couch cushions to pay for this revenue share. And does that mean we're going to start cutting sports? I mean, what UNC is best known for is having a broad-based, successful athletic program. Women's lacrosse, women's field hockey, women's soccer, baseball, a lot of men's sports. They don't want to have to cut sports. And so they see this golden goose out there, and the golden goose is the SEC and the Big Ten and these giant television contracts that they have. So I think all this goes hand in hand. And when you see other, for example, it's going to come out on Friday that the Big Ten, made $880 million last fiscal year, and that Purdue and Minnesota and Northwestern and these middle tier Big Ten teams, Rutgers, are going to get $60 million a year, whereas the ACC paid out on average $39 million. Well, there's a $21 million gap. And I think if you're UNC and you're Florida State and you're Clemson and probably some others in the ACC, you see that and you say, wait a second, that should be us. That shouldn't be them. That should be us.
And there's an Olympics coming up, and it always kind of, boggles my mind how many of the everybody in all these different sports, it's, UNC Chapel Hill. And I think they'd like to keep it that way, which brings me to an article I read this morning, and I don't know how in deep you are on it, but I want to get your thoughts. Drew Weatherford, the old Florida State quarterback who, it's like him and Chris Nix or something like that. They're like one of those, oh yeah, you played at Florida State quarterbacks. Apparently has access to billions of dollars in private equity and is looking to invest in programs and say, we'll give you $50 to $200 million right now in exchange for some percentage of your revenue moving forward that will shrink as we get our money back, our original investment, but then in perpetuity could be in the 2.5% range, whatever it is. If you're looking for like an exit fee, or if you're looking to cover something like $20 million a year over the next 10 years, do you go to Drew Weatherford with your hand out and say, give us $220 million right now, and you can have 2% of the University of North Carolina athletics revenue for the next however many forever years?
I have 2 big points on this. One, go to a bank. Why wouldn't you just go to a bank? You're the University of Florida State University. You're good for it. Go to a bank. If you need to finance this, you're not giving away money in perpetuity to a bank. You have a term, you pay it off, you're done. You wash your hands, and Drew Weatherford's not collecting his fee for the rest of his life. Secondly, I worked in newspapers for a very long time. I've seen what private equity, quote unquote, does to businesses. Just look no further than Red Lobster. Private equity took over Red Lobster, sold all the land that all the Red Lobsters were on, and then made the restaurant pay rent on that land that they once owned. Private equity is out to get its money back and then some, and a lot more some. So if you're a giant university, why would you get into business with private equity when you could simply go to the bank if you need that influx of cash that badly? And if you're Florida State, right, you're promising, hey, we're going to get into the Big Ten eventually. These checks are going to start rolling in. We just need a short-term infusion of cash. Why would you go to the predatory lender to do that? Just you're a state university. Go to the bank, get a great loan rate, do a bond, and pay it off in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever the note may be, and then you're not lining Drew Weatherford's pockets for the rest of his life.
The article I read, there was a lot of effort to not call it private equity. It was private capital. It was a capital royalty. There were all these different ways to word it, because I think they were trying to avoid everything you just said.
If you have $10 billion to give away, you're trying to make $20 billion, right? People have entrusted you with a lot of money because you're going to make a lot of money back. That's money that's going to be pulled out of Florida State University or North Carolina or NC State. You name the school. Like, I think the people that run these departments are smart enough to know this is a bad bet. This is not the best way to raise a lot of money in a short period of time. Look, if Florida State said we can leave the ACC tomorrow, it's just going to cost us $500 million. How quickly do you think their fan base would raise $500 million?
I have no idea, honestly. I like $500 million. I don't want to brush that off as like, oh, they'll raise it in a weekend. But
I think they'd raise it pretty quickly, or at least raise half of it. If you said tomorrow we're going to the SEC or we're going to the Big Ten, we're going to make all this money, we're going to play for national championships, we're never going to get left out of the college football playoff again when we're 13-0. I think
an outrage raises funds. I say it all the time. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I just think call me skeptical, but I'm not getting involved with private equity unless I have to. I mean, I think we've seen what it's done to professional golf. They're going to want something for their money. They're not just going to be casually taking loan repayments until it's done. They want something.
Golf is about expanding the game. Maybe that's what they'll. And I say that with air quotes. It's globalizing the game, right? So maybe that's the plan. Brian, we appreciate you for joining us and helping us break it down as always, and we'll continue to follow along at WRAL.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tim.
Once again, Brian Murphy, WRAL investigative reporter. As you heard him say at the beginning, it does feel like Brian is in a lot more boardrooms and hearings and everything else than maybe he used to be, but that's the nature of college sports, and when you're in such a hotbed for college athletics like we are, got to stay on top of all of that. So great stuff to Brian Murphy, as always. Check out all of his work at WRAL Sports Fan, WRAL, and everything else. As promised, let's give away some tickets. Is that the sound for giving away tickets? Play it one more time. There we go. You can win a 4-pack of tickets from the soccer tournament and a 4-pack of tickets to the FC series. So we're talking 4 tickets to see Celtic FC versus Man City on July 23rd at Kenan Memorial Stadium, and 4 tickets to the soccer tournament. That's single session pass for Saturday, June 8th evening, featuring the U.S. women and the Wrexham women at Wake Med Soccer Park. The soccer tournament will feature 118 matches, 56 teams, 2 $1 million championship prizes. The soccer festival brings together the biggest names in soccer, sports, and entertainment. Get your tickets today at fcseries.com/Carolina. Use code TRIANGLE for $10% off tickets. That, of course, being the Celtic FC Man City FC series. So there's 8 tickets total in this mega pack. I want that to be clear. 4 tickets to each event. You get to be the awesome person with the tickets. You know who's always a great member of any friend group? The one that has the tickets, right? So if you want to be that person, call in right now. Caller number 9 wins the mega pack. Heaster Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. Caller number 9 wins the tickets, 919-860-5326. And I'm serious. When you're in a friend group and someone's like, hey, I've got a whole rack of tickets to go to this thing. Do you want to come? That person's always a good person, right? Hey, so-and-so's got the tickets. Let's ride. You got the tickets? Are they on your phone? You got them printed out? What do we need? Got the tickets? I got the tickets. Whoever's got the tickets is always a good member of the group. So call in right now, 919-860-5326. I want to dive further into this private equity thing because I was fascinated by it reading the article today. It was on Yahoo Sports. There's a Wall Street Journal article all about private equity potentially coming to college sports, specifically the private equity firms Redbird Capital and Drew Weatherford Capital. They formed a group called Collegiate Athletic Solutions, CAS. And according to the Wall Street Journal, the project is looking to invest $50 to $200 million, so $50 million to $200 million in 5 to 10 athletic departments. The interesting part is the structure. Stick with me on this. The investment would be structured in this way. They give you $5 to $200 million right now to an athletic program. We'll say the Drive University, TDU. An investment to TDU, to the Drive University, could be $150 million. Then that investment firm would be entitled to something along the lines of 22% of TDU's athletic program revenue moving forward, and that percentage would drop until it gets down to something like 2 and 2.5%, something along those lines. In perpetuity, that's after the investment firm gets their original capital completely recouped. So if they give you $150 million, they can take 20% and then 15 and then 10 until they get all $200 million back. Or maybe even 1.5 times their original investment. And then they get 2% of what your program makes in perpetuity. That screams desperate to me. Right? With the settlement coming that we talked about with Brian Murphy, where teams might be a little cash strapped for the next 10 years, or with teams looking for an exit fee, they want to pay their exit fee to get out of the grant of rights of their current conference, and they want to go to some other conference, and they just need the cash now. Gosh, it screams desperate to go, yeah, well, I'll give you percentage of what we make in perpetuity. That means forever. If those of you that watch Shark Tank, this is a Mr. Wonderful bully deal, right? Oh, you're selling gizmos? I'll give you the $50,000 now, but I want $2 per unit sold until I get my money back, and then $1 unit sold in perpetuity. That means as long as you're selling your thing, your gizmo, I'm getting paid. As long as people are interested in your athletic program's sports team, we're getting paid. I just don't see that as the solution. Right? And Brian Murphy obviously brought up, just go to a bank. Get a traditional interest rate. It'll be good. You're good for it. Don't make, I mean, this is, I feel like by the way, I am not any kind of financial analyst or advisor, and I'm not entitled to give any kind of financial advice. Not my bag, not my cup of tea. But I like making decisions that sign up for anything being taken out of your account forever is terrifying to me. Forever. And it's not like 2% is going out and going into some, like, going into a 401k that you can cash out when you retire. It's gone to them forever. If you're somebody like North Carolina, if you're somebody like NC State, if you're somebody like Duke, and you sign up for 2% of, like, these programs aren't going anywhere. They've been around for a long time. They've made a lot of money for a long time. They've paid a lot of money to a lot of people for a long time. You want somebody that's earning the check to have the only people that are getting any money from you to be people that are earning the check, whether it's players, coaches, administrators, partners of any kind, business partners of any kind. You want them to be earning money, not sitting on their hands collecting money. Because one time, long ago, you needed cash. Because guess what? There's always going to be more changes, right? Florida State's gonna this is a hypothetical, is gonna take $300 million from a private equity firm. Mm-hmm. They're gonna use that mostly to pay off their exit fee to leave the ACC. They're gonna go to the SEC, and they're gonna think all our problems are solved. We're now just gonna print money. We're gonna pay that off. It's gonna be awesome. And guess what's gonna happen? Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Michigan, and a few others are going to break off and form a super league, and you're going to be in the SEC and forever still giving money to this investment firm. Meanwhile, you're still left out of the cool kids club that you paid all that money to get into.
Private investment firm just is like a fancy word for loan shark.
Could be. I mean, it's
kind of what it sounds like.
But it's also like you see it on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
if you are too risky for banks to want to invest in you, then you have no choice but to go to a private equity occasionally. The add-on to all of this is like, who isn't going to take a loan from Florida State University or the University of North Carolina or NC State? These are massive businesses that have tuition streaming in every single year.
State-funded dollars.
Like, you're good for it, right? If you need it for 10, 15 years, here you go. We'll give you a low interest rate. We'll all be happy because you're good for it. This isn't like, hey, I want to revolutionize the bug zapper world, and I have this cool invention, and every bank is like, yeah, if we give you money, we're never seeing it back. Like, you're going to see it back. You're good for it. But, hey, credit to Drew Weatherford for hustling.
And thing is, as well, when it comes to this private, equity funds and all that stuff, you think state governments aren't going to step in and have a decision when it comes to this? Like, if UNC and NC State or East Carolina or App or Charlotte can't leave their respective conferences without someone outside of the university, like it's not the president or athletic director's decision, if they can't make that decision on their own, who's to say that that they're going to be allowed to accept an influx of cash from a private equity firm without someone else inside state government saying, no, I don't allow that?
Here's the other.
There's so much more to this than just like, hey, sure, we'll take some money. We'll give you some in the long run.
Here's the other funny part, especially for state schools.
For state schools, yeah.
They're state funded.
Exactly. That's my point.
So
Duke's different. They're private. I mean, they're basically a private equity firm in and of themselves.
But do you really think the North Carolina state government is going to let funds go to one of their programs and then 3% of that is like, they're just the middleman? You're just passing it to the school so they can pass it to some other investment fund?
No, they're not.
That's in Florida?
That ain't going to fly.
It doesn't sound like it to me. But, hey, again, I've heard the rumblings of this kind of stuff happening. Today, there were, like, anonymous athletic director quotes. That, like, the article, Wall Street Journal, you can find it on Yahoo, made it seem much more legitimate than it had seemed in the past. So do with that what you will. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 coming up next. Who might be a game changer for the Panthers defense? Stick around.
Hi, this is Renee Chu. The most trusted local news in the Triangle is now on the radio. WRAL News Plus. Now get breaking news and severe weather reports on the radio 24 hours a day. Listen on the radio at 96.5 FM in Durham, 99.3 FM in Raleigh, and everywhere in the Triangle at 101.5 HD3.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Autobell Car Wash has been trusted for 55 years for high-quality service. We'll clean your car from the inside out. Now through June 2nd, buy 2 Super Poly Process Wash tickets at any Autobell for just $55.
People can tell when you Autobell.
McDonald's presents Burger Reviews by Hamburglar. Today's review, the best ever Big Mac burger. Take it away, Hamburglar.
Rubble, rubble.
He said, there's more special sauce in every bite.
Rubble, rubble.
He said, rubble, rubble.
Rubble, rubble.
Rubble, rubble indeed, my friend.
Save on a Big Mac and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus get any size Diet Dr. Pepper for $1.29.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary. Available at most restaurants in this area. Valid for product of equal or lesser value.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, former orthopedic surgeon,
now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are knocking on the door of the conference finals, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way. With same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200. That's right, $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces, and get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Partly cloudy and a bit hotter for us this afternoon, a high of 89 degrees. Today stays dry, but tomorrow we'll have a chance of afternoon and evening thunderstorms. It'll be a pleasant start tomorrow morning with temperatures in the mid-60s, and it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 92 and feeling more like mid-90s with the heat index. Scattered storms develop during the afternoon as well. We have a level 1 risk for severe storms with damaging wind and heavy rain being the biggest issues.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 201 points to 39,671. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We know what this offseason is going to be focused on for the Panthers. People that have the ball. The offense. Dave Canales, offensive-minded head coach. Bryce Young, quarterback. Offense. Their first-round pick, Xavier Legette, offense. Their second-round pick, Jonathan Brooks, offense. Their 2 biggest free agency signings, Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, offense.
Big trade this offseason.
Deontay Johnson, offense. Offense. But guess what? There's a whole other half of the football. There's a whole other side of the game, the defense. And guess what else? They need to be better too. I've made this argument a few times, but I'm going to make it one more time just to set the stage for what we're getting at. The defense was better than the offense last year. Let's reel back all of they were the 85 Bears takes, right? They weren't the 2000s Ravens, okay? They were solid, but they were in a situation, they were in a predicament where they didn't have to play particularly well to have pretty good stats, right? 4th in the league in yards allowed. Well, that's because every team they played had to lead the entire fourth quarter.
And short fields.
There wasn't a lot of, hey, we got to sling it, we got to pick up yards in chunks. We need to, really test this Carolina defense, because they were usually already up 14 and just playing the long game, trying to end the game, trying to bleed the clock. So the defense needs to get better. The hard part with that is they need to get better with Brian Burns not there, and Von Bell not there, and Dante Jackson not there, and not much of their draft capital spent on the defensive side of the ball. And pretty much every free agency move they've made has been just to replace somebody that they've lost. And all right, where's the better coming from? Well, I say this all the time. There's two ways a team can get better. Either by improving the personnel, meaning changing it out, putting better players in. That's what they're trying to do on offense. Or individual improvement of people already on the roster. Right? You can get better without hitting in the draft, without hitting in the free agency, without making an impact trade, if the individual players on your roster all get better over an offseason. We'll use the Canes as an example. I believe that the Canes forwards got better over this season that just ended over the previous season simply by Jarvis being a better hockey player. They didn't trade for Jarvis. They didn't pick Jarvis up in free agency. No, it's just Jarvis was better this year than he was the previous year, so they got better because of it. So where can they do that on defense for the Panthers? Who can just be better than they've been, and that's how the defense improves, knowing they aren't going to get the high-level draft pick. They aren't going to get the top-end free agency addition. Say it with me now. J.C. Horn. And it might not even be a getting better. It might just be getting available. If J.C. Horn plays 14, 15, 16, 17 games this year, that's a way the Panthers can be a better team without having to add anyone new to the roster. J.C. Horn, their number one cornerback, one of the top picks in his draft, one of the top prospects in his draft class, one of the most physically gifted defensive backs in the league, hasn't been able to stay healthy. If he does, I've never seen a defense get worse from having a number one stud corner.
Yeah, that plays.
That is on the field and is doing his job, maybe traveling with the number one wide receiver of the other team, maybe locking down a particular side of the field, maybe locking down wide side, short side. You can do a bunch of different things with a stud corner. J.C. Horn talked to the media and mentioned that was a priority of his as well. In fact, he changed up his offseason workouts in order to stay healthy this year.
Kind of just through my program this offseason, I did more just weightlifting, trying to get back to the kind of like the college program where I'm just lifting heavy and just trying to build my body back up and reset everything. So we'll see how I go.
Darn right. I wish he would have said it more like The Rock would have said it. Moving weight.
Clanging and banging.
Exactly. Light work. I wish he would have said it that way, but there is something to be said for it, right? As long as you're keeping your flexibility up and you're doing those things, a little extra mass might help. Also, it might and this is the hardest part about these situations. It could be luck. This past year, there was some hamstring, there was some soft tissue stuff, but broken bones, which is mostly what he's been dealing with, usually those are seen as more the luck variety, just freak accident.
Yeah, second year, late in the season, he was making a tackle, and Jeremy Chin just comes flying in and just happens to smash his helmet right on J.C. Horn's forearm, breaks his arm. That's a freak accident thing. It happens.
Which probably makes it more frustrating for J.C. Horn that the narrative around him is he's injury prone and he can't stay healthy. Which, by the way,
he's also really good.
It's accurate. You're right, and that he's really good. In fact, he talked to the media about fans saying he's talented, but there's the health thing.
I mean, I know that without the fans saying that or anybody else. I mean, I watch tape. I know what I'm capable of, and I still feel like I'm one of the best DBs in this league, and I just got to be out there to show it. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
I think that's one of the only ways that the Panthers defense might get better. I think it's one of the only ways that the Panthers defense could be better this year than next year is if J.C. Horn turns in a Pro Bowl, all-pro level season, which I don't think is outside the realm of possibility. I think you have to be honest with most players on their ceiling, right? there's not many guys out there, like even if they have a career year, that can be a first-team All-Pro. It's just that, I mean, it's the rare air, right? It's some things you're just given, right? Like no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you hit the weights, no matter how much film you watch, you might just not have it in you. But being completely honest, talking about J.C. Horn, I think his ceiling, right? If everything breaks his way, he stays healthy, he keeps grinding, he vibes with the coaching staff, he makes sense with the safeties that are playing with him. Somebody like Jadeveon Clowney, somebody like Derek Brown, somebody like DJ Wanhams, like some of the defensive linemen pressure quarterbacks into making some bad throws that allow J.C. Horn to get 5 or 6 interceptions. Like if all of that comes together, J.C. Horn has first team All-Pro possibilities. That's a big if. A lot of ifs there. Right? And maybe that's the problem with J.C. Horn. If he stays healthy, and if the safety's over the top vibe with him, and if the defensive line can get home occasionally, and if Evero uses him appropriately in the defensive strategy, then maybe he can be a first-team All-Pro. Meanwhile, you look at like somebody like Sauce Gardner or something like that, and you just say, if he doesn't get hurt, pretty good chance he's going to be a first-team All-Pro.
Yeah.
It's just there's less ifs, right? I'm looking at J.C. Horn. They picked up his 5th-year option, so he has the 2 years to figure it out. But that defense is going to be looking to replace some people, and at the offense got better in some ways at the expense of the defense. J.C. Horn is someone that can make up that difference. It's actually kind of similar to we talked about at the trade deadline for the Canes. They kind of had 3 big additions. And everyone's going 3. What do you mean? There's Jake Gensel. That was massive. There's Evgeny Kuznetsov. That was surprising. Who's the third? It was like, well, Freddie got healthy right around the trade deadline, right? It's like an acquisition, even though it wasn't an acquisition. He was already on the roster, but he got healthy and became available right around that same time, so it felt like it. The defense didn't have, for the Panthers, Jadeveon Clowney's big, right? DJ Wanham's solid. Dane Jackson, they've got some guys they brought in, but they didn't have that big, high-talent addition this offseason. Maybe it could be like J.C. Horn is that big, high-talent addition because this is the offseason he got healthy. This is the offseason he changed up his offseason workouts. This is the offseason he set himself up for a big year. Maybe that's how we can get it done. We have another giveaway, a mega pack of soccer tickets coming up. We're going to do it right around 4:33. Tickets, a 4-pack of tickets to see Celtic FC and Man City, and a 4-pack of tickets to see the evening Saturday session, June 8th, of the soccer tournament. We're giving away the mega pack of tickets at about 4:33, so stay tuned for that. At the moment, I want to make sure I tell you about what's going on over with Coach Pete and Capital Financial Advisory Group. Tim Donnelly here for Capital Financial Advisory Group. I was just talking with Coach Pete the other day. Came through the studio, and we were discussing a word that is buzzworthy in everyone's brain right now. Inflation, right? You bring that up, and everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a take. But really what you want to talk about is how inflation is going to impact you. Right? How inflation is going to impact your retirement account. I think, right, and I'm now kind of role-playing as someone out there, one of you, I think I'm going to have X amount of dollars to retire with. Is that now worth less because of inflation than what I thought it was when I started saving for it? How does that affect me? Capital Financial Advisory Group wants to do everything they can to make sure it doesn't impact you, right? So whatever your money is worth, it stays worth it through investments, through their entire retirement plan that comes with 22 behind the scenes steps to ensure that your money is maximized and that your money is secure, not just to retirement, but through retirement. Go ahead and give them a call. Again, Capital Financial Advisory Group and Coach Pete. You give them a call at 800-691-3215 right now, or text Tim to 600-700, and you will not only get the golden ticket that Coach Pete provides, which is good for a $1,000 value for your very own complete and total customized retirement plan, but also you'll get the 7 Baby Steps box set from Coach Pete for free. So if you're ready to tackle your financial future head on, Coach Pete can help you regain control of your financial situation once and for all. Call 800-691-3215, but please make sure you let them know you heard about it right here from me, Tim, on 99.9 The Fan. 800-691-3215, or you can just text my name, TIM, to 600-700. That's Tim to 600-700. Hit it and quit it, and we give away the tickets coming up next. Stick around.
As they say, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Canes fans, it was a great run in the stand. No, it wasn't. This sucks. Now it's time for a new look Canes. What will the franchise do tomorrow? Trade your favorites? Smash the piggy bank in free agency? Find out with us, your official home of the Carolina Hurricanes in season and the off season. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
On average, people spend over a third of their life sleeping, yet most sleep disorders go undiagnosed.
I'm Megan Gigling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sleep struggles left untreated can lead to health problems and have a serious effect on your quality of life. We've served the Triangle for 20 years. Let us help you get the sleep you've been dreaming of.
If you're in need of a sleep study, a knowledgeable doctor, CPAP machine, or supplies, Parkway has you covered. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Tar Heel Basement Systems. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at tarheelbasementsystems.com.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event when Dave, the sales guy, asks, want to test drive the Rogue? And I'm like, let's go. We're driving when Dave says, check out the VC turbo engine. I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Dave goes, if you think that's cool, watch this. Dave shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty impressive fuel economy. Dave mentions, these new cars are going fast. And in that moment, I had to have that Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Sentra.
Now get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. For well-qualified buyers, 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2024 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 60 months financing at $17.92 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and INMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. N6324.
Oh. This North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Time for Hit It and Quit It. One of our favorite segments of the week, where we look at all the biggest stories in sports, a lot of them pertaining to us locally, line them up, knock them down, move on to the next. We hit it and quit it. Starting with LaMelo Ball's being sued.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Being sued by the mother of a young boy, who the allegations say was run over by LaMelo Ball while walking up to him trying to get like his foot was run over, trying to get an autograph from LaMelo Ball. Now, here's one of those situations where we're going to let the court process play out, right? There's a suing, there's going to be evidence, there's going to be all those sorts of things. Maybe a settlement out of court, who knows? But in the aftermath of this lawsuit, I have seen a ton of videos of LaMelo Ball driving fairly recklessly, leaving I should say LaMelo Ball's cars driving recklessly, leaving the Hornets facility.
Yeah.
And it's hard. The cars are hard to miss. He has like a chrome gold Lamborghini that is like mirror gold Lamborghini. He flies, or whoever is driving that, leaving the Hornets facility. The videos, unless they're doctored or something, flying out of there. Then there's what looks like a purple, maybe Rolls Royce or Bentley or something like that, and it is like almost like a Joker for the DC comic fans out there, like a Joker purple, like that color.
Yeah.
Flies around in that
language.
bad boy. There's another little sporty car that, I don't know, could be some kind of supercar that'll go 1,000,000 miles an hour. It doesn't look like the entire thing is taller than my waist. It's always tough when these things happen if you have like kind of the reputation as being the guy that runs red lights and or revs your engine. Like, you know, I went to my last 2 years of high school in Ocean City, Maryland, right? There's all these cruiser weeks. There's all these car weeks. There's all the – some people just drive like jerks. And, you know, doing donuts in the middle of intersections, leaving patches of rubber and right down Coastal Highway, running red lights and all that stuff, and honking and thinking it's funny. I don't know if one of those people that I've seen your car be a jerk driving around Ocean City for the last week. If they were accused of doing something in a car, you know, luckily I'm not a judge, so I don't have to be unbiased. I'm not the jury. I'd just be like, you know what, probably did it. But again, those are different situations, what we're dealing with here. If I'm the Hornets, you're paying them a lot of money. That's why I can afford the cars, but also why maybe you want them to be a little bit more safe out there.
Yeah, don't do those things.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this. Got him.
So something that's coming to Durham Bulls Athletic Park. We earlier this year saw the Savannah Bananas come to Durham Bulls Athletic Park again. They were here last year, was here for multiple days this past spring, or earlier this spring. Now there's something new coming, Tim, to Durham Bulls Athletic Park. It is called Home Run Derby X.
This is, do you know what, first of all, just the name?
Yeah.
It's very like 2002. They used to just throw X on the end of anything, and it would just mean extreme.
Yes. I think it was also because everyone loved D-Generation X, but that's a different topic.
Or DMX?
I think it's D-Generation X. We'll go with that one. But so Home Run Derby X is described as like Home Run Derby with defense. So the way Home Run Derby X works is that it pits co-ed teams of 3 players in a game in which each player gets one at-bat for 2.5 minutes long. The batter is trying to hit dingers.
Home Run Derby makes sense.
As many as possible, while the opposing team is in the outfield actually trying to make catches. So you get points for homers and points for making catches defensively. So you're going to see some former Major League Baseball players like Andrew Jones are part of this, Johnny Gomes, Nick Swisher, also some women's baseball players and softball players like Skylar Wallace, Ashton Lansdell, and a few others are involved with this. So it seems like it's going to have multiple games in a pretty fast-moving thing. And basically, it's Home Run Derby, but if you make catches in the outfield, you're also getting points too, so there's a little strategy behind it. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to field that fly ball, just going to let it go just so I can be ready for the next pitch maybe type deal. But if you just sit there and want to watch dude just launch nukes into the outfield and maybe hit the bull, this is the thing for you. It's Saturday, September 7th.
This is where Andrew Jones, who, by the way, I think played for the Bulls.
He did.
becomes like the perfect player. Because unless he's completely out of shape, Andrew Jones can cover ground in the outfield.
Yeah.
And also he had like 450 home runs in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't, this makes, you think of like the Prince Fielders or the Jim Thomes, the Big Poppies, some of these guys that have won home run derbies, they might be a liability in the field.
For sure.
You need to get somebody that can hoof it in the outfield to track down pop flies and then also hit home runs at the plate. My advice to everybody, stretch.
Yeah.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
You put a person up on a pinnacle.
The NFL, let's just call a spade a spade. I disagree with most of what Roger Goodell and the NFL offices do. There's just a lot of things where I'm going, come on, right? Oh, you're going to expand to 17 games while saying, player safety is everything. Like, there's just a lot of things I disagree with. I agree with what they're doing. They are, during this upcoming preseason, so starting in a couple months, going to audition, I don't know what to call it, experiment with, trial, electronic first down yardage decisions. So you're going to get the lasers involved, the cameras involved. If the preseason works, right, because they're going to try it during the preseason, and if it works, then they can talk about implementing it in the regular season. We may have seen our last chain gang crew trotting out onto the field and pretending like that's the most accurate way in the history of the world to judge a first down. There is something hilarious about the last 20 years where we have billion dollar franchises, right? And these players, based on wins and losses, are getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in bonuses. And every once in a while, we're like, let's just see if that guy who eyeballed it, right? Because that's all you do. When you're placing the first down marker, you just look out to where the ball is and go, right here. And then the chain gangs all go off of that down to the millimeter, right? Mm-hmm. Then they go out and measure, like, can you see light between the ball and the marker? Like, they get down that close after the guy was just kind of like, this looks about right. Boink, puts down the marker there. So at least they're trying to make it more accurate and trying to make it faster, because there's no way, like, let's get those three guys in the construction orange vests to jog out onto the field is the fastest way to decide whether somebody got a first down or not. Coaches asking for measurements just because they don't have any timeouts left. Sir, you are 3.5 yards short. Yeah, let's measure. How funny would it be if they just had a little Apple Watch, right? The ref. Coach is like, can we measure that? Boop. Nope, don't have it. Says right here on the watch, notification, do not have it. I love it. It's an innovation that makes sense. And do you know what actually is
speeds up the game fine.
Is underrated, and I was just telling this story to my wife during the NHL postseason. She got very into the Canes postseason run, right? As a lot of fans do. You get into it, you watch more, you pay attention more, you get to know the other team more because you're playing the same one every game. But she had a hard time tracking the puck. Happens, right? Up against the boards, near side to the camera. Could be anywhere.
Like, where is it?
Yeah, and or you think there's a goal scored. Turns out they're going the other way. Sometimes even it happened in the Islanders series. They fire, the Canes win, and the graphic on the boards, and it didn't happen. But I started talking about how back in the day they tried the purple puck.
Yeah, the glow puck Fox that they did.
They tried, and I was like, honestly, one of the greatest inventions in watching sports history is the yellow first down line. And the purple puck may be one of the worst because it just didn't work out.
Didn't quite work out,
and it wasn't there yet. But if they can do it, if you know how every single time there's a close first down, the announcer has to say, of course, the yellow first down marker not official. If they can make the yellow first down marker official on TV, how awesome would that be? So it's like, ball is half over the yellow line, first down. If the yellow first down marker on television was official, NFL just leveled way up. By the way, technology is much better now. Maybe they should try the purple puck again. I'm just throwing that out there.
Some sort of glow puck, yeah.
Why not? Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Ruffle the lion's feathers.
NASCAR Hall of Fame. introduced for the class of 2025. Ricky Rudd, Carl Edwards are the headliners for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Also, Ralph Moody, part of the Hall of Fame as well. For I know a lot of people that are longtime NASCAR fans in the area. But here's something that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Richard Childress of Richard Childress Racing, right here in the state of North Carolina, decided, you know what? He's going to start cutting promos. So one of the members of Richard Childress Racing, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. this past weekend in North Wilkesboro got into a little fisticuffs. Not little. Fists were thrown. There was basically old school NASCAR scrap. Might as well have been Earnhardt and Waltrip back in like 1993 throwing hands in pit road after the All-Star race in North Wilkesboro. Well, the next upcoming race is actually in Charlotte this coming weekend, Coca-Cola 600. Here's Richard Childress at 78 years old out here talking stuff to Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who's 36 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I would have jumped right in the middle of it.
And done what?
Well, I started fighting. I don't fight as fair as I used to. I'm a little older, but Ricky Stenhouse said that he was going to wreck the 8 car at Charlotte. Well, when I see him, I'm going to tell him if he does, I'm older, but I've just changed my style of fight. He'll carry a rough ass beat.
That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the American dream. Dusty Rhodes lives vicariously, or lives now through Richard Childress.
I was thinking he had a little.
That is where he's going with
I
this right now.
was thinking he had a little bit of the late great Toby Keith in him, saying, "I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. I'll come down there and do what I got to do."
Ricky Stenhouse saying, "I'm just out here cutting promos." It's actually Ricky Stenhouse was cutting promos on Kyle Busch, being like, maybe he's just upset that he's not as good as he used to be. And now we got Richard Childress out here throwing jabs at Ricky Stenhouse verbally. I love this. And people say wrestling's stupid. Nah, this is pro wrestling in real life, folks.
It is. I mean, it's. Never mind. I won't go down that path. But there's nothing like a. Well, how old did you say Childress is?
78.
78. You love it.
I love it.
That's
one old man strength.
One of the I don't know why I always think of this. I think it was Buzz Armstrong, or Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah.
Not Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. Might have been Neil Armstrong. One of the astronauts that walked on the moon in elder age was confronted by somebody saying it was a hoax and it was made up and you didn't actually walk on the moon. And he was ready to throw blows.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like, you know what? There's something about like that 70-something-year-old man that's like, you know what, youngster? Let me teach you something, you whippersnapper. They start throwing things out like that. You're over here raising a ruckus. Let me show you how we did it in the 60s, however 70s, whatever. What was that? Let's go ahead and quit that. Let's hit this.
You done messed up, Aaron!
This one, I was hoping we put this list together, and I don't really do the whole look ahead thing to see like, I'll be saying this one, Dennis will be saying that one. I didn't want to say this one because it's kind of sad. The NHL conference finals start tonight.
Yeah, Eastern Conference Finals.
Florida at New York, meaning the Rangers, meaning could have been Florida at Carolina Hurricanes.
Yep, that'd be starting tonight. We should be at PNC right now. But we're not. We're here.
Florida Rangers. Were we rooting for the ref? Like, what do we do in this situation?
Are we rooting for the Western Conference? Is that what we're doing?
Edmonton and Dallas?
Which starts tomorrow?
It's very difficult for a Canes fan to know which direction the allegiances should go in this one.
Probably no direction. Again, the allegiances are going west. Connor McDavid. I don't know, Joe Pavelski. I'm a big Joe Pavelski fan. He plays for the Dallas Stars. One hell of a model American.
Yeah. Florida, if you can hate watch it. You know what you should watch?
Yeah, you can hate watch.
You should watch it while you're like heavy squatting or something. Get that extra.
Get those gains.
Put on the extra 25s. I'm getting a PR today. Tired of watching Kachuk and Kreider. All right, let's move on from that quickly. Let's quit that. Let's hit this. It is time for a Mega Pack giveaway. Win a Super 4-pack, but it's really a super 8-pack from the soccer tournament and FC series. We have 4 tickets to see Celtic FC versus Man City on July 23rd at Keenan Memorial. And I want to be clear, this is an and situation. You get both. You don't have to choose one. It's not this caller gets it. The winner gets both a 4-pack of tickets to see Celtic FC and Man City and a 4-pack of tickets to the soccer tournament. It is a single session pass, 4 of them, for Saturday, June 8th evening, featuring the U.S. women's team and the Wrexham women's team at Wake Med Soccer Park. The soccer tournament features 118 matches, 56 teams, 2 $1 million championship prizes. The soccer festival brings together the biggest names in soccer, sports, and entertainment. And that is true. The tournament will be bringing in Pat McAfee, J.J. Watt, Chad Ochocinco, the U.S. women's team members, Wrexham, who we just talked about. Some of the best soccer players from all over the world will be here, and you can win a 4-pack of tickets to see Celtic FC and Man City, and the single session pass for Saturday, June 8th to the soccer tournament. For the FC Series, you can get your tickets today at fcseries.com/Carolina. Use code TRIANGLE for $10 off tickets. That's use code TRIANGLE for $10 off tickets. Caller number 9 at 919-860-5326 gets the Super PAC, 919-860-5326. That winner gets the Super PAC of tickets. How about it? Gosh, I mean, when we give away some cool stuff, obviously we have perks of our show, but there are certain ones that make you a little bit more jealous that you're ineligible. And getting 2 tickets, right? You get to take one group of friends to one group of friends to the other. You can make a whole thing out of it where you bring the same people to both. Maybe you have a son or daughter who's really into soccer. This would completely blow their minds. Maybe you tell them about it on their birthday that's coming up. Go crazy. But again, 919-860-5326. I see the lines lighting up. Dennis taking care of it and making sure the winner is properly taken care of. Now, though, let's go ahead and jump right back into Hit It and Quit It for the last few minutes. Starting with this. NBA Western Conference Finals start tonight. And hoo boy, did the Eastern Conference Finals set the bar high. Dallas at Minnesota tonight, 8:30 TNT. Indiana and Boston simply turned in a classic in Game 1. So Dallas and Minnesota, you have no choice, right? You have to turn out a classic, which means Duke products, right? Guys that play their college basketball at Duke. Derek Lively and Kyrie have a big game. Their teammate Luka have a big game. Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert on the other side have a big game. Do you know what's going to be really interesting about this? Minnesota is a wildly good defensive basketball team. And it's more than just Rudy Gobert as the defensive player of the year. Matter of fact, some would say in the Denver series, he was the weak link on defense. But they're a wildly good team defensive unit. Obviously, Dallas brings some of the most talented, skilled offensive players in the world in Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. They can score at every level. They can change up tempos, go fast, go slow. They can shoot from deep. So it's a little bit of that whole, when Dallas has the ball, an immovable object and an unstoppable force, which one's going to win? We'll start to sort that out tonight, 8:30 TNT on the broadcast. Here, by the way, on 99.9 The Fan tonight, we have ACC tournament basketball, the NC State game. We'll be right here on 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget about that. With that being said, let's quit that and let's hit this. Dennis, can we get a sound effect here as I know you're on the phone? I'll do it myself. Got him! Huh? Like that, everybody? Can we get a sound effect? There we go. You like that? I didn't do a good enough job with the got him.
Sorry, I was talking to Clay from Princeton, our winner.
Clay, congratulations. Enjoy the soccer tournaments.
Yes. And also shout out to Rich from Cary who won earlier today.
Shout out to Rich. Also enjoy the soccer games.
Yes.
We just hit it and quit it. We're on to the Justin Fields hit it and quit it.
Justin Fields.
I felt like this was appropriate to say for you because you're a Steelers fan.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's coming for Russell Wilson's job as he should be.
Let's hear from him.
Pretty simple as that.
To be honest, I'm taking it day by day. I'm definitely, competing. Russ knows that. We're competing against each other every day. Him being out there for me, that, helps me getting better, us pushing each other. So, I definitely don't have the mindset of, me just, sitting all year. I'm coming in every day, giving it all I got, and, pushing him to be his best, and he's pushing me to be my best each and every day.
Justin Fields didn't show up to Pittsburgh to be Russell Wilson's backup.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Russell Wilson's been run out of 2 separate towns in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And you know what? Justin Fields probably would still be a starting quarterback in the NFL if Chicago didn't make the trade with Carolina to get the number 1 overall pick.
That's very true.
I'm not saying I'm banking on Justin Fields taking Russell Wilson's job, but I am saying I wouldn't be super surprised if they struggle if about week 10 they don't go, let's see if the guy that can run for 1,200 yards might be able to try something different here. As a Steelers fan, would you be very upset if Justin Fields took over?
No. I mean, if he gives you the best chance to win, then no.
Who do you think gives him the best chance to win? That was
Great
perfect
question.
That was perfect timing for the wow wow.
Great
sound
question.
Effect.
Yeah, just the
yeah. There you go. That's what it kind of was.
I think Justin Fields gives them a dynamic at quarterback that they have not had with his ability to run.
RG3 said play both. Have the field zone package.
Sure.
Where it's all running plays and RPOs, and then you bring in Russell for the drop back passes and handing off to Najee Harris and Jalen Warren.
Okay. Yeah, this isn't goaltending in the NHL where you can kind of flip-flop guys throughout the course of a regular season.
Put them both out there at the same time. Have Justin Fields playing running back. Have him take Jalen Warren's role.
Russell Wilson takes the snap, runs the option to Justin Fields, who throws it downfield. Sure, that's all trick plays.
Pittsburgh is the place that had Cordell Stewart, the original slash.
Original slash.
Could Justin Fields be the next slash?
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Play a little wide receiver, a little kick return, a little quarterback, a little running back, a little safety. Treat it like high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Practice will be like a carnival for him. He does a little bit at each booth, goes with each position for a period.
Welcome to the county fair, Justin.
Exactly. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Last year, we learned from the Big 12 that if you don't play anyone in their non-conference basketball schedule, your net ranking will go through the roof and everyone will think you're good until you get exposed in the NCAA tournament. Duke, not having it that way. Stick around.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, it's bow time. So don't wait, grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Wow, check out these new deals at John Heister Chevrolet on brand new 2024 vehicles, like $5,000 off an Equinox LT, $6,000 off a Silverado 2500 High Country, and $7,000 off the Blazer RS. With a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in, get your hands on a 24 Colorado for $3,750 off, or a Silverado RST up to $11,000 off. John Heister Chevrolet even has the 24 Tahoe starting as low as $58,999. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. Together, let's drive.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor things you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, going to the beach. You name it, it can't be done. Don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints like your knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkopp, who was an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money, your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Get a great deal this spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a Trane.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Wednesday. I kind of respect the heck out of the scheduling John Shire has done for Duke basketball. Because it's funny to just see an entire season where they discuss, and when I say they, I mean everyone that followed college basketball, how you can game the system, how an entire conference can game the system to making everyone think they're better than they are, and use that to get more teams in the NCAA tournament, use that to get more rankings, higher ranked teams, and then only to have Duke, one of the premier programs in the country, go, yeah, we hear what you're saying, but no. We want to do it our way. Duke listed, or the 7 of their 11 non-conference games for next year are known already. And let me tell you, they've got some doozies. 7 of their 11 non-conference games are known. 4 of them would probably be the best non-conference game of any Big 12 team. Actually, not one of them because it's on this list. November 12th, they're playing Kentucky and Atlanta. November 21st, they're playing Arizona in Arizona. On an unknown date, they're playing Kansas in Las Vegas. And on an unknown date, they're playing Illinois in Madison Square Garden.
It's a home game.
Yeah, but it's not Cameron Indoor. It's the other home game. It's their vacation destination home. That's 4 of their 7 games are doozies. The other 3, by the way, Maine, which feels like a favor to Cooper Flagg. He's from Maine, and I don't know, just a solid to the state university where he's from.
Sure.
They're playing Maine early in the season. They're playing Seattle. That's a home game, and they're playing George Mason. That's a home game. But those 4 games are massive. Like, are you serious? If you were to just list Blue Bloods, Kentucky, Arizona, Kansas are on that list. Illinois has been good enough for the last 5 years to definitely be considered a high-end non-conference game. We just watched the Big 12 play nobody, essentially, outside of Kansas. Meaning Kansas played other people, but everybody else didn't play anybody, and because of that, their in-conference schedule became a little echo chamber of, here, you get some net ranking points, you get some net ranking points, you get some net ranking points, and they just bounced around walls like they were running through a mirror maze, just bink, 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 and eventually they all kind of were ranked in the top 25, and we weren't really sure why. And Duke said, okay, so if everybody in the ACC plays very, very weak non-conference schedule, we can all artificially, whether we deserve it or not, raise our conference's standing. Okay. What if most of our non-conference games were against super highly rated blue bloods? What would that do? Well, here's what it would do. Probably make you more battle-tested, right? Probably expose your flaws earlier in the season. So if you have to fix them, if you have to change something, if you need to wake up, you'll do that earlier in the season. I want to get ahead of this. Rankers, analysts, power rankers, voters in the polls, the selection committee. You already have the ACC ranked too low. Because look at, like, of those 4 games, Kentucky, Arizona, Kansas, Illinois, Duke's going to lose. They'll win some of them, they'll lose some of them, whether it's 3-1, 2-2, 1-3. Like, they're going to win some, they're going to lose some.
Can easily see them going 2-2.
Easily. And that will probably take them from, they'll be a top 5 team in the country preseason, maybe top 1 or 2. And then they'll drop all the way down to 17th, right? Because they're losing games that other conferences simply aren't playing. And then guess what's going to happen? In the ACC, Duke's going to play who's a team that's going to be on the bubble? Pitt. And Pitt's going to lose to Duke. And everyone's going to go, they lost to the 17th team in the country. When in actuality, they lost to the second best team in the country. They just played a tougher schedule than everybody above them. And then Pitt's going to beat someone else, and they're going, Pitt's no good. They just got smacked by Duke. And Pitt's going to beat Syracuse, and it's going to ruin their bubble. Every year. And then guess what's going to happen? And this isn't even, like, if we were playing the bold prediction game, this wouldn't get a bell for bold enough. The ACC is going to have like 4 or 5 teams in the NCAA tournament, and everybody's going to say the ACC is down, and everybody's going to say the ACC had a down year, and they're going to throw things like non-conference schedules and non-conference win-loss and net rankings in our face.
Going old net.
And then there's going to be 3 teams from the ACC in the Elite 8, and there's going to be 1 or 2 in the Final 4, and it's going to play out like that because it plays out like that every year. And Duke's decision, and I'm just using them because the Seattle game was just announced, so I looked at their non-conference schedule and saw this. But Duke's decision is kind of what ensures that. It ensures that they won't get 9 teams in the tournament because they're not playing the gaming of the system game that other conferences are to have the teams ranked highly top to bottom. But their decisions are making them better suited for a postseason run. Right? Like, the reason why everyone was so surprised about NC State going on the run that they went on is because they came out of nowhere and they were ranked at the blah, blah, blah. But what if half of their losses in the ACC were to top 20 teams in the country? Maybe their resume wouldn't have looked so bad and they wouldn't have been coming out of nowhere. They would have had close losses to a bunch of top teams. I seriously have to wonder if conference commissioners might not have to start looking at the top of their conferences and like mandating that you play a much easier non-conference schedule. Because it is undoubtedly better for the Georgia Techs, the Wake Forests, the Syracuses, the Boston Colleges, if Duke just comes into conference play undefeated. Regardless of who they play in non-conference play. If they come into conference play undefeated, that's better for the ACC. Duke won't be as good.
No.
But they'll be ranked higher.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Is like, what if Duke with their tough non-conference schedule, does go undefeated in non-conference play, then you really are boosting everyone.
Yes.
Like there is the take of that as well.
That is the highest of the rewards. And then you start talking about, like, you know, is Cooper Flagg the second coming of, like, you know, Christian Laettner or something? I mean, you start asking those questions, because that like if you beat Kentucky, Arizona, Kansas, and Illinois in your non-conference schedule, and you lose 2 or 3 games in your conference schedule to the right teams, you're looking at like a slam dunk 1 seed. And if you win the national championship and ACC championship, you're looking at like all-time lists. So if Duke has maybe that's it. Maybe Shire knows he's got, you know, he's the person walking into a bowling alley and you don't know if it's a duffel bag or if it's his own ball and own shoes and own wrist guard. And he's like, you guys don't know what I'm bringing to the table. That happened one year. We did in training camp in college. Coach did the whole, you show up and in the locker room written on the whiteboard, it says, you know, don't put your pads on. We're going bowling. And it's like a team building activity. So you show up at like 4:45 and you're like, yes, we're not having practice today. And we went bowling. And Ryan Cobb, one of my tight ends, showed up with a little like rolly bag. And we were like, what the heck are you doing? Pulled out his own ball, his own shoes, his own wrist guard. He had been on the bowling team in high school. And we were playing for suicides. We were playing for run, like conditioning. So every team got paired up. And if you got first, you didn't run at all. Second, you only ran 1. Third, all the way on down. Ryan Cobb's team won by so much. He bowled like a 265 or something like that. We had guys that were asking to use bumpers. He's out there just like, you know, who do you think you are? I am. He was out there just crushing it. Maybe that's John Shire. He's rolling in knowing, like, I got something for you. Line up every best team in the country because we're gonna roll through them. Maybe he's that quiet, confident guy. Maybe. And if that's the case, the ACC should be pretty fun next year.
Walking in there, obviously you're not a golfer.
Yeah, exactly. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. By the way, deepriversportingclays.com, there's so much that you can check out while you're there. There's the online store. You can check out the shooting school, the pro shop, all the different things that they have going on at Deep River Sporting Clays. Again, including one-on-one instruction as well. But here's something that I know a lot of people want to have in their lives. I know a lot of people, especially with the weather being warmer, want to get outside, want to be active. People want to alleviate stress in their lives, just improve their mood, improve their health. Well, you could do those things by going to Deep River because you're getting outdoors, beautiful natural 65-acre setting that they have out there. You're going to be walking around on their target course, about a mile long. Not too strenuous, but nonetheless, you're still being active and being outdoors. You also have a fun activity of going out there and doing your round of clays. But also, it just puts you in a good mood because you're just out there having a fun time, whether it's with friends, family, loved ones, just good people around you and good times to be had. Or if you want to have just a little peace and quiet for yourself, you could do that too. Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, more than just a place to shoot. Check them out online. Again, deepriversportingclays.com, deepriversportingclays.com. I've been there multiple times. Had an absolutely fun time every single time I've been. Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Can't wait till I get back. Hope to see you there. Let the adventure begin.
The starting 5 coming up next here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly. ACC, once again, there's votes, there's money to be paid. Eastern Conference Finals reaction and more. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Are you a big rock, paper, scissors person?
Absolutely.
Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Man, best of 3. Ready?
You can't change the rules.
Why not?
All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, he got me. He got me.
And she put the rock. Yes!
Oh, I thought he'd go scissors again.
It really is a psychological game.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
AutoBell Car Wash has been trusted for 55 years for high-quality service. We'll clean your car from the inside out. Now through June 2nd, buy 2 Super Poly Process Wash tickets at any AutoBell for just $55.
People can tell when you AutoBell.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
Fellas, don't get stuck on first base. Hit a home run with help from Arise, the urology clinic for men. We can help your performance with Core Wave Therapy, a pain-free, drug-free way to break up blockages and get you back in the game. No pills, no painful injections, and it only takes about 20 minutes. Score real help for your ED issues from Arise Urology Clinic for Men in Cary. Call 919-459-5400 or visit CoreWaveTherapy.com.
This Military Appreciation Month, Navy Federal Credit Union wants to celebrate our members who go above and beyond every single day. That's why we thought you might want to hear some special thank you messages from your friends and family.
I want to give a shout out to my brother AZ1 Archie Castillo.
Hi, I want to give a shout out to my friend Colin, who's currently serving in the Army. Thanks for all you do. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
And from all of us here, Happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale, and it's a big deal. Right now, get 50% off all windows, along with no interest for 5 years. Plus, bonus savings when you schedule a consult today. If your windows leak, get foggy or hot, or you're paying high utility bills, that's a big deal. With Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace your windows and save a big deal, too. Schedule a no-obligation in-home estimate. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 125 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. No application fee if you apply by May 31st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall to winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. Very warm temperatures out there today, but staying nice and quiet. Tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies. We'll get down to 66. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy on Thursday. It's hot with a high of 92. Storms become possible as we head into the afternoon and evening.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today down 201 points to 39,671.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The starting 5 here on the drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Wednesday. As always, we start with number 5. So the ACC voted to approve their portion of a settlement that's going to cost the NCAA and the conferences within $2.7 billion towards players from 2016 to 2022, something along those lines. It's all has to do with them not being allowed to benefit off their name, image, and likeness, and so on and so on and so on. The ACC voted to take to accept the payout and pay their portion. All of this becomes the boring but fascinating financial side of college sports. That is, like, as much as I say the on-field stuff doesn't change for college football, right? NIL didn't change how I spend my Saturdays. I still watch college football, and not once do I go, gosh, this is so much worse for me because the quarterback now has a 2-bedroom apartment that he stays in by himself rather than a dorm that he was forced to stay in because he didn't have any money. Like, on-field doesn't change. Just about everything off the field is changing. Because think about it like this. Part of this payout, part of this NIL structure is schools are now going to enter into a revenue sharing agreement with the players. So you're looking at $20, $21 million per year that will go to the players, which means if the teams want to continue operating at the exact same level they've been operating, they got to come up with $20 million new dollars. Where's that going to come from? Well, I'll tell you what, they're not going to bother with spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on LED lights under your locker. They're not going to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on having Olympic-sized ice tubs.
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to worry about the flashy stuff that they used to worry about because now, buy it yourself.
Yeah, cool water slide in your locker room.
Yeah, like all of that is going to, a nice wiffle ball field in your locker room. Like that's all going away. Unless they find a new source of revenue. Private equity, just throwing money at college sports. It's at least being discussed. Article came out this morning. Drew Weatherford, Weatherford Capital, Redbird Capital, these private investment, private equity, private
investment firms?
Yeah, that's not the term I'm looking for. Hold on, I have it right here.
I call them fancy loan sharks.
Private equity investment. There you go. According to Ben Fisher of Sports Business Journal, of Wall Street Journal. According to the Wall Street Journal, let's just say it like this. Redbird Capital and Weatherford Capital have formed Collegiate Athletic Solutions. According to the Wall Street Journal, the project is looking to invest $50 to $100 million in 5 to 10 athletic programs with the idea that once they are fully paid back off of a 20% of revenue kind of take, that'll drop all the way down to 2% of revenue in perpetuity. That's crazy to me. Like somebody is just going to own 2% of all future revenues of a college athletics program. Could happen. Wild. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
Yesterday, right here on this show, Dennis and I told you that if you were looking for an on-ramp to the NBA, maybe there was you're a Canes fan and you're like, I'll be darned if I'm watching Rangers Panthers. I need something else to get my competitive juices out. Well, there's, by the way, ACC baseball tournament going on. You can catch NC State game tonight right here on 99.9 The Fan.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. But if you're looking for a more professional national version, the NBA, we're like, hey, it's a pretty good time. 4 very exciting young star teams on remaining in the Final 4 of the NBA. And we said you should check it out. And last night it was Indiana-Boston. It was the Pacers against the Celtics. And boy, did they live up to our promise that it was a good time to jump into an exciting NBA playoff. Celtics-Pacers overtime last night, and only overtime because the Pacers, I almost said Panthers. I'm so used to mismanaging the end of the game, it just being the Panthers.
Makes sense.
The Pacers mismanaged the end of the game so badly that it went to overtime and the Celtics ended up winning. And the coach of the Pacers, Rick Carlisle, put his hand up, said that one's on me in the postgame.
This loss is totally on me. With 10 seconds in regulation, we should have just taken the timeout, advanced the ball, and found a way to get it in and made a free throw or two and ended the game. But it didn't happen. and we made some other mistakes, but our guys just need to concentrate on fighting the way they fought in this game from start to finish, and we'll be back Thursday.
Take that. Little hand up. You know what that is? I've been thinking about Rick Carlisle's post-game pressers this postseason. Because if you recall, in their Knicks, I think it was the Knicks series, Game 1, he was upset with the refs, didn't say as much. After Game 2, they filed 79 different complaints to the league office about calls that they felt went the wrong way. And he complained about the refs. And he took a lot of heat for it because it sounded a lot like whining. We may even have said it was a little petty and whiny on this show. And now he's doing this. He's doing the hand-up thing. I think the coach, Rick Carlisle, thinks his team, they need some backup publicly. I think he thinks that they're a little, maybe confidence is wavering, something like they just lost a heartbreaker. They were obviously not playing great against the Knicks when he did the thing. I think he's using the media this year to let his team know, like, I got your back, right? The whole have you seen The Blind Side?
Of course.
The movie about Michael Orr. The part where he's in high school and the other guy is beating him up pretty good and being just like beating him in the game and is taking some cheap shots, and the coach went crazy and just started saying, like, that's my player. That's my player. And then from that point on, Michael Orr is like, don't worry, coach. I'm 7'12", 475 pounds.
I've got your back.
As long as I know you've got my back, you never have to worry about anything ever again. And from that point on, he's the best high school football player in the country. I feel like Rick Carlisle is looking for that moment. He's going like, guys, I got your back. The refs stink. Guys, I got your back. That was my bad. These are my players. And he's waiting for Tyrese Halliburton to go like, coach, relax. I'm a young $200 million superstar point guard. I got this. Whether it happens or not, we'll see if the coaching works. But it does feel like he's intentional with how he aggressively addresses things in the post-game press conferences.
And if you have no dog in the fight, just no skin in the game, however you want to describe it, just sit back and just enjoy great play. Like, that was just I caught the end of that game yesterday. I was like, this is just fun.
Yeah.
Like,
high
late
stakes.
fourth quarter, like, yeah, exactly. High stakes, like situational stuff, overtime, see how players handle it. I mean, the Jaylen Brown three-pointer with a dude standing right directly in front of him. It was fun. It was fun to watch. Just sit back and enjoy it.
That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
The NFL is testing electronic first down yardage measuring in preseason. Remember that time they brought out the index card?
Yeah, it was a credit card or something like that.
They had the football spotted. They brought out the chains, and they couldn't tell. It was so close they couldn't tell if the football passed or didn't pass the first down marker, so they got out the index card to try to slide it down. And they gave him the first down, right, if I recall? Actually, if I recall, they slid the index card down and then gave him the first down, which goes against logic because you'd think if the index card fit, you shouldn't be. Either way, they're trying to avoid that. The NFL is testing electronic. And this is not an original thought. I know a lot of people have had it, but I think we've all had this thought. Why can't every review be like the tennis reviews? Where there's a play, they just point up, right? They just throw excuse me, I'd like to take another look at that finger. And everybody watches the Jumbotron. It's played in like a cartoon. It's like animated.
It's like an animated thing.
I don't even get it. You watch, and it's either in or out. They show it, and everybody goes, yay, or aw. And then they play the next play.
Tennis over here.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like, aw. And then they go back and play. I've always wondered why you can't do that for, like, where his feet inbounds, out of bounds on the sideline. It's got to be the same deal, right? When a guy makes a catch, feet inbounds, out of bounds. Everyone's worried about this pace of play, faster. Games are taking too long. People are getting bored. Games are taking too long. Everything you can speed up with just electronic usage is way better. Way better. Instead of having to watch 900 replays, if you just point to the sky. Can you imagine? Let me pick a receiver. Justin Jefferson does his old Tony toe tap impression on the sideline. Ref says incomplete. He points up. Everybody looks to the Jumbotron. Both toes were in. All right, spot the ball. Let's play.
Keep it moving.
Right? Ref says, first down, keep it moving. Defense goes, no. Knee was down. I had it right there. Points up. Go up to the little animation on the Jumbotron. Look, he was 18 inches short. Spot the ball. Keep it moving. How awesome would that be?
Honestly, I have no problem with the pace of play for the NFL. It's college football to me that's slow and long.
What I don't like about college football is they supposedly changed some rules to make the game faster, but then they added commercials to make the actual length of the game the exact same length.
Yeah, they added time to the actual commercials and
so
commercial
it's like
length.
We ended up
like
getting
TV
was
timeouts.
less football in the same amount of time.
Yeah, it's like,
which was the exact opposite of what we were asking for.
I can go into a long gripe about college football and pace of play. I really could.
Do you know who I feel bad for?
Who?
The red shirts. The people that have not the red shirt players. The people that wear the red shirt that have to walk out there and they stand at the numbers. Like if you've ever been to a college football game, you see this guy. He stands out there, and then when he walks off, that's when the commercial is done. He works for the television broadcast.
Yeah, so generally, what that guy is, he's wearing like a red T-shirt or something, a different color, so he stands out to the officials, and he walks out to the numbers that are on the field. He's holding a clock, so everyone out there can see, okay, there's 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in this commercial break, and he just stands there. So these teams know how much more time that they have, and the officials know as well. The thing that I hate is that he's standing there this whole time, and then clock hits 0, he walks off, and then the official's like, we're going to review the previous play, and then it's like another 5 minutes of reviewing a play. It's like, you could have used all that time to review the play.
I just
so dumb.
I just feel bad for them because sometimes it's 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And
just gotta stand there.
And they just have to stand there, and about 2 minutes in, everyone in the entire stadium is just staring like it's their fault, right? It's like yelling at the customer service representative when it's definitely they're just reading a script. They didn't ship you the bad product or whatever it is. So I just get so mad at this guy in the red shirt holding the clock, knowing full well it's a broadcast decision. It's not his fault, but those 2.5 minutes, I'm staring daggers. Either way, they're auditioning, they're trying, they're testing during the preseason, electronic first down yardage so they don't have to bring the chain gang out to measure for first downs. Could potentially speed up the game a bit. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
The ACC baseball tournament.
Yes.
Going on as we speak. Matter of fact,
down in Charlotte.
I am watching a game here. Wake Forest, who's the 8th seed, leads Pitt 7-1 in the top of the 7th.
Okay. We have NC State baseball. They play Virginia Tech at 7 o'clock, so at least scheduled for 7 o'clock first pitch, but you can listen to that right here on 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow, NC State, will have them in action again tomorrow right here on The Fan. They play Duke. Duke, the 6th seed in the tournament, won yesterday against Virginia Tech, 11-8. NC State plays Virginia Tech today. NC State's the 3 seed. Virginia Tech, the 10 seed. By the way, North Carolina, they get underway tomorrow. They play at 3 o'clock against Pitt. They're the 1 seed. And they also play Friday in the evening game as the 1 seed against Wake Forest, who's the 8 seed.
And this is all still pool play. So,
yes.
For example, Duke lost yesterday to Virginia Tech. Duke and State will still play later on in the week. So we're not quite to the hey, you're going home portion yet. But you still want to win. And, I know I probably sound like such a homer.
Okay.
ACC has really good basketball, or really good.
See? The basketball, too.
Because in my brain I was saying, I say this about seemingly every sport. They have really good baseball. Seeing a team like Wake Forest be the 8th seed in your conference tournament, Wake Forest was preseason, what, 1?
Number 1, yeah.
Number 1. And has a lot of talent and a lot of guys that pro scouts know a lot about. And they're the 8 seed. UNC is the 1 seed, as you mentioned. There's I know baseball is kind of quirky in that way because you need such a large sample size to really find out who's the best. But I mean, I've lived and covered sports in Nebraska. There's something, because Omaha obviously out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's something special about college baseball postseason where I mean, you just get it's essentially rapid fire game 7s. And baseball is one of those. It's set up. I mean, down to your final out. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Runner on third. Down 1. Steps to the plate, the little known left fielder who has an 0 for 8 streak, but by golly, he needs one now. He digs in, takes strike 1. That is so perfectly built for college sports because there is turnover, right? In the pros, it's one thing to have, 10-year veteran making $30 million, stepping up with the game on the line. There's still some stakes there, some intensity there, but it's a complete different one. It's they're going to pinch hit the biology major who's on a 1/4 scholarship, right? He will go pro in something other than sports, but right now he has the hopes and dreams of his best friends on his shoulder, and he's facing an erratic pitcher who's hit 2 of the last 3 batsmen, but they have no one else in the it's more special in college. And the ACC tournament is going on. I could have just done play-by-play of an entirely fabricated and made-up situation.
I mean, you pretty much could. I feel what game are you calling? But the one thing I love about college baseball is that you do get the story of the guy who is a closer during the season for the most part, maybe on Friday and Saturday of games in conference play. Then all of a sudden in the tournament, he starts and pitches 5 innings, doesn't have an at-bat all season, but hits 2 dingers, because the team goes into the 17th inning and someone's got to hit.
One of the best post-game interviews ever, and I don't know the full situation. I think he was an LSU player, but he was an LSU pitcher.
Yes.
And I think it probably went into extra innings and they ran out of pinch hitters or whatever. And he's a pitcher. He's not a hitter. And he pinch hit and he hit a home run. And after the game, they were what did coach tell you before he came up and asked me if I hit it all in high school? And I said, oh, yeah, I used to hit dingers.
Yeah, you used to hit nukes.
And
hit bombs,
that's
coach.
what he said. And then they're like, well, did you? He was like, gosh, no, never bat one time in high school.
Yeah.
But I told coach I could.
Yeah.
And he went out there and hit the game-winning home run.
Yeah.
That only happens in college. Yeah, coach, I used to hit nukes. Well, did you? No, didn't bat one time in high school.
I hit bombs. Hit nukes, coach.
It was perfect. Just no notes. Absolutely perfect post-game interview. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. Panthers OTAs going on this week, next week, the next week, which means they're practicing. They're on the field. At times, media will be allowed to take pictures, to see what is going on, to watch Bryce Young throw it to Deontay Johnson or Xavier Legette or somebody that they're excited about, Jatavian Sanders. Guess what else happened over the offseason?
What's that?
You're never going to guess. Bryce Young, a professional athlete, paid extremely handsomely to be in great physical condition and ready to play. He worked out. He lifted weights. Bryce Young got stronger.
What?
Bryce Young developed his musculature.
He physically matured?
He physically matured from 21 to 22 or however old, from 22 to 23, however old he is. Here's why I'm sarcastically setting it up this way. There's a picture of Bryce Young throwing the ball. Got some pipes on him. He's asking, what direction did the gun show? Over there, and he's flexing a little bit on him.
He's going to Hulk Hogan, 24-inch pythons, brother?
He's a little bit. And then, of course, the Panthers followers, the Panthers fandom, the Panthers media, they grab that picture of him looking a little yoked up, and they put it up next to a picture of him at last year's OTAs or in the season last year where he had his maybe not as yoked up arms. And everyone gets excited. You can't tell me this guy's not going to have a big season. He's been dedicated. Listen, he's a professional athlete. He's not at Alabama anymore. He doesn't have to pretend to go to class. He doesn't have to carry a book bag around. He has no professional responsibilities other than making sure he is physically ready and in shape for OTAs. What is going on here?
Always love. I think it was Mac Jones after his rookie year, going into his second year. Oh, he's in the best shape of his career. You mean since last season when he was a rookie? Oh, congratulations. You grew up a little bit.
My all-time favorite is when Emmanuel Sanders was on the Broncos. So this means I think he was going into year 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Showed up to OTAs looking more shredded, and he was like, "Yeah, I've completely rededicated myself to my diet." And everyone's like, "Oh, that's all the media. Oh, whoa, what does that mean?" He's like, "Well, and by the way, you can go look it up. This story is out there. It used to be every time I drove by a fast food place, I'd pull in and get a 20-piece nugget. I don't think he said McNugget. Nugget.
Yeah.
He finally stopped doing that, and he's shredded up. I'm going, you've been a professional athlete for 9 years, and you were still just housing fast food at every possible opportunity you had?
Well, you need the calories, Tim.
I'm not praising you for finally not housing a 20-piece every time you drive by a fast food place. I'm actually looking at you with a what the heck took you so long?
I know. I'm just thinking about for me, like I play men's league, beer league hockey, and I get done playing. I'm like, my body's still racing and all that kind of stuff. I look down on my my fitness app and be like, hey, you burned like 900 calories today. I'm like, wow, 4 bowls of cereal it is. Let's go. Where's the waffle crisp?
Like, and I have no problem even with getting, like, you're a professional athlete. Get the calories from, whatever Tom Brady eats.
Avocado ice cream.
Yeah, boiled rice and avocado. I don't know what he eats.
Yeah, avocado ice cream, which is basically frozen guacamole, I think.
It doesn't sound bad, actually. Avocado ice cream sounds gross. Cold guacamole? But I can't use chips to dip, can I? Just got to eat with a spoon? A little less exciting. But no, Bryce Young showed up physically in shape to OTAs. Yes. Now, if he did something different, right? If he lifted triceps more to get more, on his deep ball, like he had been working, but now he's working smarter, we can have those conversations, right? If he's working out with a new trainer who's all about preventing soft tissue injuries, all right, yeah, let's talk about that. Turn over every stone. Let's try to get better every offseason. But hey, this guy is strong when his only job is to be physically fit. Like, next you're going to tell me he got together with receivers to throw this offseason. Like, yeah.
What?
I listened to Julian Edelman's podcast with Cooper Kupp. They did 5 minutes on the different ways that quarterbacks they had played with like to run routes. Matt Stafford is a guy, he wants to go like, all right, we're going to run hitches, outs. He wants to run through the whole route tree. Cooper Kupp, someone else he was describing, likes to do every kind of like post. So, all right, post, but this time there's a safety over the top, so you got to bend it down a little bit. All right, post, this time it's man, so you give a little wiggle at the top. Post, but it's a skinny post because the linebacker's raising underneath you, and you just run posts for an entire period. Tom Brady was somebody like to run it like a 2-minute drill, where it's like, all right, we're running this play. What are you doing? All right, we're running this play. All right, now it's 3rd and 2. What are we doing? All right, this one you're just going to block, and that's how he would run routes. If Bryce Young is changing it up like that, I want to hear the nuance. I was a nerd listening to Cooper Kupp and Julian Edelman talk. But him being in shape, pump the brakes on the hype train. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's Dennis Cox.
Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, and MLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, needs some numbers game contestants. The prize for the day, a pair of tickets to see John Fogerty. He's bringing the Celebration Tour, celebrating his songs from Creedence Clearwater Revival with special guest George Thorogood and the Destroyers and Hardy Har to Red Hat Amphitheater on June 5th. We have a pair of tickets going to one of you. But to get the tickets, you got to win the numbers game. We need 2 contestants. Call in now if you want to play. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
Hi, this is Renee Chu. The most trusted local news in the Triangle is now on the radio. WRAL News Plus. Now get breaking news and severe weather reports on the radio 24 hours a day. Listen on the radio at 96.5 FM in Durham, 99.3 FM in Raleigh, and everywhere in the Triangle at 101.5 HD3.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Grab a frosty mug and try the newest flavor from Bluebell, A&W Root Beer Float Ice Cream. A creamy vanilla-flavored ice cream swirled together with an A&W root beer flavored sherbet. A new way to enjoy your favorite root beer float.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Walgreens and all Lowe's food stores.
You don't sit on your keister as the home team drives in the playoffs. So after the game, get off your keister and get to Heister to score a killer special. Right now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington, get over $12,500 off a 2023 Dodge Charger or Challenger, up to $12,000 off the 23 Durango, or up to $13,000 off a 23 Grand Wagoneer. Rams, up to $10,007 off a 24 Ram 2500, or up to $12,600 off a 24 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Hurry in to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
We want to invite you to Atlantic Spas and Billiards to bring more relaxation, wellness, and fun to your home. Sit in a hot tub from Hot Spring or Caldera, relax in a hot sauna from Finleo, or swim in our showroom in our endless pool. We have a fully stocked game room showroom with darts, ping pong, foosball, air hockey, pool tables, and more. Everything we sell for your home, from hot tubs to grills, from saunas to pool tables, promotes relaxation, wellness, and fun. Atlantic Spas and Billiards on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh and Market Street in Wilmington, AtlanticSBNC.com.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor things you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, going to the beach. You name it, it can't be done. Don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints like your knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, who was an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here. As you know, so much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. These walls provide an intimate space for all of the small moments that bring us together as a family, the bonds that grow stronger year after year. And like any other relationship, your home requires the same love and attention. That's why I brought in Zero Res to clean the carpets in my house from all of the dust, dander my dog drags in, all of the crumbs my 3-year-old makes, and me too when I'm watching games. That is why you should trust in the power of Zero Res to care for your home. ZR water is tough on stains and dirt while still safe for you and your family and pets. Don't forget about your air ducts as well. This is the perfect time with allergy season, furnace and AC, efficiency, post-winter, and more. Just check out the 3,800 raving customer reviews online with a 4.8 Google rating. Visit ZeroResRaleigh.com to get 3 rooms of carpet Zero Resified starting at just $105 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan. Zero Res, spell it backward or forward, it spells the same, Zero Res. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Anthony and Clinton on the line, David and Willow Spring on the line. They'll be competing in the numbers game for a pair of tickets to see John Fogerty. He's bringing the Celebration Tour, celebrating his songs from Creedence Clearwater Revival with special guests George Thorogood and the Destroyers and Hardy Hard to Red Hat Amphitheater on June 5th. As always, we have to ask a question to see who gets to go first. Earlier today, as part of our 99 questions about college football, we were talking about the new College Football 25 video game that's coming out. So we'll ask this. Anthony and Clinton, what is the all-time best sports video game of all time?
Madden 2005, when that hit stick got introduced. Oh, my God. Ray Lewis on the cover, beautiful.
You had that answer ready to roll. You've had that debate before with some friends, haven't you?
I'm an avid Madden player.
All right. David and Willow Spring, we'll go to you with the same question. What is the greatest sports video game of all time?
Oh, gosh. I don't even play video games. I'd have to go to an arcade game to even go that deep.
Arcade games are 100% in the running here. Do you have?
How about the old the wrestling? I don't know what they call it, Wrestling Mania. You had the different guys and teams, and you could have different moves. I'd go with that.
All right. I mean, that is a very solid answer. Do you know what game he's talking about, Dennis?
If he's referring to NES Pro Wrestling on the original Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES Pro Wrestling, like with Starman and like
I think he's
Amazon,
talking. I think he's talking like
the
old
old
Mortal
WrestleMania
Kombat.
game.
Just like it's like the big thing like at an arcade with the two buttons and the joystick.
Oh no, they had that like for WrestleMania
Oh, okay.
and all that kind of stuff too. Yeah,
All right.
like
Well-
that one. That one was a good one.
Well, just because Anthony wasn't as big of a video game player, David wasn't as big of a video game player. We'll go with Anthony first. But David, don't worry, you'll have your chance to win the tickets. Anthony, go ahead and pick your category. NFL career ballers. So they all like in their name, they have a name of a career or an occupation. NFL Kentucky Fried Football, all players that played college at Kentucky. NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only.
I'm going to go with the first NFL category.
All right, NFL career ballers. These are all players that have a career or like a title in their name. I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Donald Driver, Green Bay Packers.
80.
Correct. Patrick Queen, Baltimore Ravens.
8.
Incorrect. Irving Fryer, Philadelphia
Zero.
Eagles. Irving Fryer, Philadelphia
again?
Eagles.
Pass.
Malcolm Butler, New England Patriots.
21.
Correct. Buda Baker, Arizona Cardinals.
6.
What was that?
6.
Incorrect. Patrick Queen, Baltimore Ravens.
0.
Not correct. So we have you got, what was that? 2 correct. You got Donald Driver with 80. You got Malcolm Butler with 21. Patrick Queen, we would have accepted 48 or 6. 0 was Roquan Smith, I think, who was actually the kind of running partner with Patrick Queen. Irving Fryer with the Eagles, number 80. You missed that one. And Buda Baker with the Cardinals. Apparently he likes switching numbers. We would have accepted 36, 32, or 3. But you did get 2. Solid number. Sit on the line. We'll see if it holds up, all right?
Yes, sir.
Leader in the clubhouse. That brings us to David in Willow Spring. David, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL Kentucky Fried Football, all players that played their college football at Kentucky. NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only.
NFL Kentucky.
All right. All players went to Kentucky. I will give you the player in the team. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. You need 3 to win. Any questions before we get started?
Nope, let's roll.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Randall Cobb, Green Bay Packers.
30.
Incorrect. Tim Couch, Cleveland Browns.
12.
Incorrect. Randall Cobb, Green Bay Packers.
Pass.
Will Levis, Tennessee Titans.
28.
Incorrect. Tim Couch, Cleveland Browns.
18.
Incorrect. Randall Cobb, Green Bay Packers.
31.
Incorrect. Will Levis, Tennessee Titans.
25.
Incorrect. You're throwing darts there in the 20s, which is a strategy. If you said 18 for Tim Couch, 18 was Randall Cobb. So you just had him not right there. Tim Couch with the Browns wore number 2. Will Levis with the Titans number 8. Unfortunately, did not win. Not enough to get the tickets, but hopefully you had fun.
I did. Congratulations.
There you go. Oh, look at that. Good sportsmanship. Anthony and Clinton, you are the winner. Congrats.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
You get the pair of tickets to see John Fogerty. Go ahead and sit on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you to make sure you get your tickets.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank you for playing.
Two-time winner.
Two-time winner. Look at that. He said, I'm going back to back. Two-time winner. I like that. We have some things. The numbers game, just know big things coming. I can't tell you anything more than that, but I want to. But I can't, but I want to. By the way, tonight we do have NC State, Virginia Tech baseball right here on 99.9 The Fan. That's, I believe, a 7 o'clock opening pitch, so be sure to stick around for that. ACC tournament baseball going on as we speak. Wake Forest, since we last updated, picked up another run. They now lead 8-1 over Pitt, and they are once again threatening with 2 runners on, first and second. So Wake Forest with the lead there, looking to add to it. NC State, Virginia Tech, you can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan later tonight. We're going to take a break. When we come back, speaking of NC State, one of their most large and in-charge personalities of the last 6 months, maybe not as large anymore. I'll tell you what that means coming up right after this right here on The Drive.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, it's bow time. So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Set your alarm. Memorial Day doorbusters are here at Lowe's. Save big on a Master Forge 3-burner gas grill for just $99. Plus, save over $500 on a Whirlpool top-load laundry pair, now only $896. Beat the rush for these limited-time deals before they're gone. Because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 5/27. Appliance offer valid on items 782472 and 670009. Price includes all discounts while supplies last.
This is Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending in Cary, with 2 exciting announcements. Back in 1950, my father and uncle moved to Detroit and opened Miller Brothers Realty, a business they ran for the next 50 years. Fast forward to 1996, and I moved my family to Raleigh and opened D&J Mortgage, a company I'd named after my children. And today I'm happy to announce my sons Daniel and Justin will be leading Miller Lending as we head towards 100 years in real estate and lending, all the while following the one basic principle I learned growing up in that environment. Always treat your customer as you'd want to be treated yourself. Now, while Miller Lending has long been associated with our popular no closing cost program, I'm also excited to announce the opening of our purchase money division with a strong emphasis toward helping first-time homebuyers navigate the mortgage process. So whether you're buying a new home or simply refinancing the home you're in, call Miller Lending and experience the benefit of working with a locally owned family business. In Cary, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
We're recording this Progressive commercial on a real boat to let people know that when you bundle your home, boat, and other vehicles...
What was that, Flo?
Progressive saves you money, Jamie.
Why are we doing this on a boat?
We were going for authenticity.
We're going to the city?
Authenticity.
You mean Atlantic City? But we're not in the Atlantic. Are we?
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get a great deal this spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a Trane.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. DJ Burns captivated the country during NC State's run to the Final Four. Truly. I mean, it truly became one of those phenomena. He made a bunch of name, image, and likeness money. He was on every major television channel. He became one of the faces of the NCAA tournament, which happens to be one of the most popular, events on the sports calendar every year. So what could, at this point, right in the middle of May, draw highlights, right? Anything compared to what he was doing when he was barreling down the lane and he was backing himself into people and he was using the soft, feathery touch of the left-hand hook. Well, I'll tell you what could raise some eyebrows. If the guy that captivated the country because of being this dancing bear, being this larger-than-life human in both physicality and kind of personality, what if he was suddenly less large? DJ Burns, according to Shams Charania, NBA insider, which, by the way, go ahead. You're holding. Oh, we have the sound from Shams. I don't even have to describe it. Here's Shams Charania.
DJ Burns Jr., NC State big man, led that team to the Final Four, ACC tournament MVP. He was everyone, there was a big deal made about his size, his frame, his weight. He was listed at 275 pounds when he finished the season in college. I saw him at the Pro Day yesterday. He looked totally different. What? I talked to him afterward. I think we have a photo here.
What do you mean he looked
DJ
different?
Burns told me he has lost 45 pounds in the last 6.5 weeks. He said he's doing cardio workouts at 5 a.m. He told me,
I was thinking the same
he told me
thing.
no
What?
Ozempic.
Nothing wrong with that.
He told me no Ozempic.
Fair enough.
That is.
Would he fail a drug test for Ozempic?
No.
Like an NBA players take
No, it's a
Ozempic?
diabetes medicine.
I need the secret, bro. 45 pounds.
He said he's been doing workouts 4 days a week at 5 a.m. Cardio workouts specifically that early in the morning. And him and his rep actually made a point to say no Ozempic was used during these 45 pounds lost. So
45 pounds in 6 weeks.
Yeah, I need to get on that train. Dang.
I mean, that is absurd. That is more than eating. That's eating healthy, working out a ton, changing your entire lifestyle. 45 pounds in 6 weeks. Do you know what is kind of funny, though? And this happens, right? He was listed at 275. Now he's saying he lost 45 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And do some math there. He ain't whatever, 230 or whatever that's supposed to be. It's like, if you lost 45 pounds, you weren't 275. You might be 275 now after losing 45 pounds, which just goes, you're right. It's like if you say, I can bench press 315 when you can only bench press 270, then you go work really, really hard and now you can bench press 315. It's like you can't be too openly celebratory about being able to bench press 315 because everyone thinks you've been doing it for the whole time you've been saying it. He's slimmed down quite a bit, and I make no mistake about it. He's not like Victor Wembanyama out there. He still has the girth if he wants to back you down and to be a bully in the post and all of those things. He's just looks more like he could play 25, 30 minutes rather than 15 to 18 minutes, which at times during the year, that is what he was doing for NC State. He was scoring 12 points in 16 minutes, and it's going with that efficiency, play him 30 minutes, maybe it's 24 points, but it wasn't there for his stamina. So credit to him. The only thing I'll say that's even remotely negative is this does a little bit fall into the category of one of the most annoying things about my college football career, which is there'd be guys on the team that were good players, starters, contributors, right? Good players, had some good stats that were, I would say, mediocre workers, right? Which is, you don't have to turn in the extra. If you're just there for team workouts and practice, if you're just there when it's mandatory, that's on you, right? If you're turning in good results on the field, it is what it is. But then as soon as their senior season was over and they started preparing for the pro day, suddenly they're in their extra, they're in their early and late. Suddenly they're in the weight room. Suddenly they're doing extra. They're cut up. They're losing weight. They're getting faster. And I'm sitting there as their teammate going, where the heck was this when the team needed you to work this hard? Part of me, and it's hard to say for NC State because it's like, wait, he was the most valuable player of the ACC tournament, and he was one of the best players in the NCAA tournament. Are you really complaining right now? Which is why I say it's only kind of like this situation. But part of me as a teammate would be going so we got 45 pounds heavy, DJ, and now hopefully whoever you're playing for professionally next year gets svelte, fast, ready to play a whole game, DJ? That's what we're dealing with here? But other than that, it's just good for him. And who knows? I mean, I don't know if his game, because kind of the back-to-the-basket posts are so non-existent in the NBA, I don't know if his game translates to professional basketball here at the NBA level, but there's money to be made for DJ Burns. Right? If he wants to try the G League thing, he wants to try to do that, that's great. But if and or when he decides he wants to try the overseas thing, there is money to be made in some big leagues over there in Europe for a guy that can just catch it on the post and operate the way we've seen him do it for the last 2 years at State.
I think this is a classic example of, I think we all experience this in our lives in some way, shape, or form, is that when you step back from a situation, like, for example, like when his season ended and you're stepping away from it, you can kind of actually really assess like where you are in your life, because you get so into like the daily routine of just doing things, on a day-to-day basis. You don't realize exactly how you can change, or maybe don't have the time to make those adjustments or whatever it might be, because, again, you're just so into it that you don't realize what exactly it is that you're into, if that makes sense. But when you're able to step away, you're like, oh, okay, like, here's where I could change, here's where I need to change, here's how I can be different. Once you step away from it is where you really can start to have that introspective thought and really evaluate. This is why you kind of hear like what after the season for football players or whatever it might be. Like, yeah, I needed to train this or do this differently, whatever it might be. Maybe that's just the time he's like just realizing it.
The other thing it might be is sometimes agents have a way of, because it's their business.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
Being a little brash, a little bit of, listen, man, if you want to make any real money, you need to drop 45 pounds.
Yeah.
Here's how you're going to do it. We'll put you up because where Shams Charania interacted with DJ Burns was at their agency's pro day. It might have been like, we're going to put you up here and we're going to monitor what you eat and we're going to have a trainer with you and we're going to get you right for 6 weeks leading up to the pro day. And sometimes agents make that kind of stuff. Sometimes agents' blunt words are the best things for you. The brash, not worried about your feelings words are exactly what you need to hear. Could be. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we tell you what's coming up on Overdrive, I do want to remind you one last time that NC State, Virginia Tech baseball, part of the ACC tournament, right here on 99.9 The Fan. Opening pitch at 7, I believe. First pitch at 7. So we're about an hour and a couple minutes away from them getting underway. It is pool play. It is the ACC tournament. It is, postseason baseball in college, which is always fun. So that's here on 99.9 The Fan. To start Overdrive, last night in the Eastern Conference Finals, a veteran coach, Rick Carlisle, a championship-winning coach. He was the coach of Dirk Nowitzki's champion Mavericks back in 2011. Been a head coach in the NBA for 30 or 40 years, like long time we're talking here. Maybe not that long, but 30 years roughly. He made a mistake last night. And, of course, as we always try to do, and we tried to do earlier today, learn from someone else's mistakes. What can Dave Canales and the Panthers learn from the Eastern Conference Finals last night? We talked about it earlier today, and we're going to replay that conversation for you coming up to start Overdrive on 99.9 The Fan. Follow us on YouTube at 99.9 The Fan. Subscribe, comment, like. You never know when that might pop up in a feedback frenzy. Until tomorrow, everybody, have a great day. We'll be back for Thursday's show at 3 o'clock. Talk to you tomorrow.
The Adam Gold Show.
All right, for the last week, all I keep hearing is that it's not working. Hurricanes are not working. Can't get over the hump. You know what would get over the hump? Better goaltending would get over the hump. Do the Hurricanes win Game 6 if Freddie Andersen is better? Yeah. Do they win Games 2 or 3 if Freddie Andersen is a little bit better? Yeah. They win Games 2 and 3 if Freddie Andersen's a little better. Doesn't have to be more complicated than that.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit